Does anyone want to recall our last session, if anyone could remember? So, any volunteers?
Did we beat the shit out of that like little rat goblin man looking thing last session, or was that the time before?
I think that was the time
Uh,
before.
you
Okay, so
didn't. Are you talking about Nikolai?
I, I the one that was trying to diddle the children.
Oh lord,
Oh,
no,
you
that
mean the
was
Lornling?
Yeah, that one.
You.
We
That
hit it and it
was.
disappeared.
Yes. You believed you killed it, but it suddenly disappeared out of without a trace. But that
Well, I
was a
don't know if we
couple
killed it,
sessions
but we
ago.
so
I'm sorry,
that
what?
was 2 sessions ago.
Yeah,
Okay, so last
that's
time
okay.
we popped we found our way out of the mine and then chastised the wizard about it, and on the way
Hmm.
committed a few impromptu funerals and found some stuff, including gunpowder.
Yes, that's well, blasting powder, not gunpowder.
Thereabouts.
But
Well, I'm
very
sure you could.
dangerous.
I'm sure you could load it into a closed system and add a projectile at the other end and light it up and create a gun.
Watch
Yeah,
things
hey,
go
yeah, well,
boom.
maybe, maybe.
No, 'cause all you need to do is stick inside a barrel and then point the barrel at someone.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Or
try
you
not
have
to.
to make a hammer, have put a little bit inside, and put a nail on the other side. So if
Alternatively, stand at the neck of the barrel and light the bottom of the barrel and become a projectile.
It's a limited edition feat of strength. You put the barrel and then paint it like a hammer mallet, and then you go up to someone here. Why don't you try using this?
Let's see. We did get the refund from the wizard. Or at least I was happy to get a
You
refund.
did.
I'm pretty sure the wizard's the BBEG. You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah, but you never know about Civixo, the old
It only makes
man.
sense, right? He's
You
trying to get
know,
all the adventurers killed by a dangerous ride, and he's feigning ignorance like the evil person he is.
he could be
Well,
a
he didn't
demon,
feign ignorance.
or at least
He didn't
pretending to
feign
be a
ignorance.
demon.
Maybe. But, well, no, I'm not saying a word.
Confirm
Wizards know
Almost.
necromancy.
BBG.
It makes he is the BBEG.
Nah. Of
I've
course
confirmed it.
not.
Or
No,
perhaps
there's
he
no
could just be
confirmation.
a blue tiefling in disguise.
Yes, maybe.
I mean, tieflings are evil, so you know.
Mm,
There was something
hmm.
involving a potato last session.
Yeah.
Yes, one of your, not you
I
personally,
just
sorcerer,
remembered.
but you were the victim of a potato in your pants. So, um, long story short, be wary of potatoes. Um,
Wahahaha.
not
That's
only that, yes.
that's the beginning.
So, as you guys did talk with Savixo, you were aware that especially for Yanara and Brandywine, that you are aware that he has mirrors throughout the camp to actually transport himself. Being as an old man, he can't walk very much. But, anyways, you came to know that he was unaware of what was going down below. He wasn't aware that there was an actual giant underground cavern with spiders and everything like that. And he was unaware there was another mirror. However, when the kids explained what the mirror was, a look of fear and distraught appeared on his features, before he says he has to go and the ride is now closed. And before you could even say anything or catch him, he disappears. But then a moment later, Yanara hears Mr. Witch in her head saying, to send the kids over to Nikolai, who is in control of the ticket booth, and to give them their wings, and that they will have a chat later on. As to when, you don't know. Um, but after getting the kids, getting their wings, and they go off on their way, you guys find yourself back towards the gaming area, which some of you, I say Gek and PB and J, you had a little game with a cyclops named Sven, which was a staring eye contest. Gek unfortunately lost. Well, PB&J won because he doesn't really have eyes. So, but since our Cyclops is not very intelligent, he tried his best, and in the end, he won a cuddly toy spider. Um, and the rest of you, I believe that Fee got a special gift from her brother um, that she's not very fond of and is fixing it. uh,
She's not fond of the brother or the gift?
of the
Or both?
gift. You never know.
Both.
Could you imagine Fee not
um,
being fond of anybody? Come now. Come now.
Come now, yeah, really. Um, and you were also found out that there was a arena of sorts, and you could have sworn that you saw images of a wolf and a bear almost fighting each other, but from the looks from where you guys are standing, you just see two goblins going at each other. And some of you were eager to go in that direction. Okay, there you go. Sorry.
It's
All
okay.
right, so
All good.
there you go. So you basically, after PB&J won his prize, uh, Yanara and Brandywine, you're talking amongst yourselves, and I'm guessing the sorcerer joined Gek, who had a mysterious letter, and you found out that you don't know what it is, but you do know it's in Celestial by your Fee's quite intelligent history of seeing random figures and numbers and letters of different races or her medical knowledge. Very nice. I will be wary of the not to happen. Anyways, what do you guys do?
I'd like to
Did
fight in the arena.
somebody say wrestling?
Yes, did someone say wrestling?
Oh no.
Brother, are you into wrestling? The sorcerer flexes.
At whom? Is it
Numeros.
to whom it may concern?
To whom it may concern.
I've grappled many a foe in my time. It's a noble expression of strength.
Shall we join together, Brother Tomeros?
Are you proposing a tag team of some sort?
Why, yes, I am. I think we could conquer the world with it.
Excellent.
And he holds out, you know, the like Predator Arnold.
Yes.
Carl Weathers, yeah, the holds out one
You
arm.
son of a bitch.
Ezra, you son of a bitch!
Handshake. The sorcerer now wonders, wait, how do we sign up for this?
Well, you basically it's an open arena and you hear cheers going on and there's a very just long pathway going straight down towards the arena and you just see in the distance two goblins going at each other. So you just assume you just
Oh, wait,
walk
the
right down.
goblins were the wrestlers.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like just unrelated, you know, goblin shenanigans doing, you know, goblin things.
No, they are the wrestlers.
Okay,
So
this
are
is
they
a new
currently
get
wrestling
situation.
each other, or are they like loitering?
No, they're
Whoa, just because they're
technically
goblins, you think they're loitering?
no, from where you can see, and that you both Yanara and Brandywine, you know that uh the ones that are in control of the wrestling arena is sponsored by oh where's my met? Sorry, one second. Uh,
The letter W.
no.
This episode
It's
brought to you by the letter W.
no, it's
Woof.
actually um pretty much overlooked by two goblins named Greto and Loretto, and they're actually brothers. So, and they like to um, bring in a crowd of sorts by just basically beating each other up and uh, bringing things to a very wide, extravagant reactions to people, as entertainers, as one would.
So it's like real wrestling in that it's fake.
Who knows?
Right? Brandy's gonna look over to the two guys going, ha ha ha, yes. So who's wanting to get into the ring with our friends over there? Practically
Tamiros
rhetorical.
turns and looks at the sorcerer.
Are these meant to be the opposition?
Think so, brother. Let's show them what real wrestlers can do.
And apparently Gek is joining you.
I mean, it might very well be a Gex situation where small but muddy. So
Well, if you do get
Alright.
beat up, please return. I'll get you bandaged and then go punch somebody else. Just please don't kill anybody.
Looks directly
Yanara
at
takes her. Go ahead.
looks directly at Tomaros, who's got a barrel of blasting powder
Onward,
strapped to his
mover.
back.
Ah, yes, this.
Would you like to leave that here
Thank
with
you,
me?
little one.
yes, he hands it off.
Good. It was a
That
little...
could have ended poorly. I doubt these goblins were ready for the full weight of the sun.
Oh,
Oh,
Well,
Alright, so I'm guessing the majority of the group is heading to the arena then.
uh, is this a big top or is this like an arena sunk into the ground
It's
with
it's an
auditorium
arena
style?
sunken into the ground, and then there's bleachers that kind of like ring up to almost seven bleachers, kind of like going one very close up close, and then all the way to the back, kind of thing. There's several stairs and stuff like that, and you just see a lot of people scattered here and there, and like applauding and cheering and going on. But let me actually bring you to the other map. So one second.
ooh,
So
fancy.
Oh,
that was just a
Hello, Bob.
preview of it. So
The ring TM.
the ring DM.
the ring
um.
that's not round.
So yeah.
The
So
octagon.
those
Wait,
who want to
hexagon.
sit.
Wait, no, octagon. I was right the first time.
The Roctagon.
Oh. How many gems does Brandy have? Oh, okay. Let's actually look on Roll20. Wait, no, I put it into journal.
You probably have.
Oh, there we go.
You
Yes.
started with 175 and then you lost 25 to me. So
Yes.
Suddenly you hear an exclamation from the distance.
oh, oh, it collapses. Oh, that's fun. That's convenient. Oh, wait for me.
I drag myself on.
You see a little gnome kind of running, and there's like what was the armor has just collapsed into a small sphere that she's kind of like just
Oh.
like rolling along next to her.
Okay.
So if he, I guess, wants the, I'm guessing. Excuse me, I just drank something.
oh,
And now this, I want to say that this area is like the corner between two of those
Yeah, so basically
bleachers.
where
So
Tomoros, Sorcerer, and the Gek is, that's pretty much the entryway to go down into the arena, while it splits off around two bleachers that kind of go from the very close up end to going further back, kind of thing. And you bump into other people trying to find some spots if you want to just be a spectator and cheer on your friends.
front row seats, flashing the carnival badge. It's like, yeah, we part of staff. We get to sit here. We're on break.
yep.
um,
But yeah, as you guys are going forward and choose your seats, and those three who come down the middle. You just watch as Greta and Loretto just immediately turn their heads towards you, and they're like, and a very almost triumphant and happy grin comes over their faces, and they just split apart, and they're like, "Ah, we have contenders, I see." "Yes, brother, I see them quite well. I wonder how well they can dabble. But if you are going to join us, you have to lose your weapons."
I would have left my mace and black
Okay.
powder barrel with Fee.
Okay.
Keck drops his javelins, his great axe, his warhammer, his 2 throwing axes.
Oh wait, I also have javelins. They would have been tucked behind my shield. They're not like on my. Sure, I'll just like drop the rest of the stuff at the entrance.
Okay. Just
I'll give
pile it
the
next to Fee.
Oh,
I'll give the
wow.
pack to the blonde lady.
Okay.
You know, after the potato incident.
Keep an eye on these, will you?
Does the potato count as a weapon?
I think it
No.
counts as an improvised weapon.
Biological
I mean-
weapon.
Bi-
Psychological weapon too.
It's a psychological and maybe
Okay.
a bludgeoning weapon if you throw it hard enough.
Can I keep the
Needs to make a
potato?
Constitution saving throw. It's been
Can I
back
keep
there
the
for a
where it's
while
Long
now.
been.
enough, it does poison damage and curse damage.
Can I please
We'll
at least
see.
keep the potato just in case?
In your
I mean, it's
in
not
your
a
butt.
weapon.
It,
Yeah.
it in your
Where are you
butt.
keeping it though? Yeah, it's
Oh, no.
Do you have
Um,
pockets?
Does it look
Just
like
the
I have
one.
pockets?
Prison
you just
pocket.
Prison wallet.
if it's still there, people just see a lump in your behind. Very
Oh,
It's
Mr.
like a pooped himself. Let's put it back in the pack. I'll
Miss,
be fine without it.
Mr. Sorcerer, sir. Okay, I have something for you.
Hmm?
Come here, come here, come here.
What is it, Fee?
It's another potato.
You don't know her name yet, but how
Oh,
did
yeah.
you know? No, I did.
What is it, young gnome?
You were standing there,
Or
I think, when
old?
you were. Anyway,
Rather old gnome.
and
3 times your age gnome.
she pulls up this little spherical disc from one of her packs. Well, normally this is for other purposes, but here. And she taps it, and you see a little glow appear on it. I think maybe if you put this on your belt, anytime you tap it, it will play your I don't know what you call it, your entry theme, the thing that yeah, Mr. Peacefox. Yeah, exactly. See, so anytime you touch that, it will make that noise.
Oh, that's
Hey.
cool.
Brandy's gonna lean over and whisper, "Hey, Jan, you want to make a fool of yourself in public and help play that guy's theme song?"
Oh, absolutely.
All right, it kind of goes like this, and she's gonna hum. Dun, 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 dun. And they're
Alright.
just quietly gonna work on it in the background.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so after you guys are unloading your weapons, Loretto and Greto are pretty much waiting for you to come into the arena, like with their arms crossed and like, "Are you done unloading, or do you have more to unload?"
One moment. Oh, wait, hold on.
One moment.
He's still like trying to pull stuff out. He's got like a censer, a box of incense, some traveling clothes, a couple of javelins. Still,
We're just worried about
unflaps
the
his shield.
weapons. You can keep your equipment on. We don't give a damn.
Oh no, these are valuable. I wouldn't want them to get ruffled up for no reason.
He just keeps piling these at,
Whoever's ready to
feet.
face us, then let us come forward.
Dumblemorph jumps in.
Dumbledore kind of moves up to the edge of the ring.
I'm gonna go climb over the roping on the ring
Mm.
and introduce myself. You know, do the big. You know how the wrestlers kind of keep their arms open, like trying to get the crowd cheering for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where's my hype team?
Yay!
I'm gonna quickly press
Yay!
the bell button.
Oh God, Nox.
Uh,
I think that was Nox. Is
Yeah.
it bad that my
I
mind went immediately to Nox?
no, because that was me. I recently acquired a new set of a great injustice has been righted.
Be able to.
I bought new
Oh
it's
no.
not kazoo, it's a noisemaker. I bought a new pack of noisemakers, and of the like 10 of them, only 4 were functional.
mhm.
They've really been tanking in quality. Anyhow.
The sorcerer wishes to challenge. Along with looks back over to Tomoros, wondering where Tomoros is at.
He's just shaking off the
Jack-
last bits of his
Jack's
belongings.
over here
He
bouncing in his seat.
jumps
hand
over the
raised. Oh.
side. He mimics the motion that the sorcerer is doing, like with the arms
Mhm.
out, like the "come at me" things. Like, let the games begin.
Yanara
but
starts
where was
playing
it?
the theme. Yanara
Okay.
starts playing the theme to Rocky.
Okay. So yeah, as you introduce yourself, sorcerer, you immediately start to glow, um, and
Ooh.
have that very obnoxious dun 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 scene going on in your head. Um, Tomaros, you're kind of confused why your friend is suddenly glowing, but then you're like, he must be the sun. Who knows? He is blessed.
I too is blessed with the sun. Would not
And
expect
you
it from
just
one such as him.
he's talking to himself
right.
quietly.
So the one that comes up is the one that's a little bald, and he's just like, ah, very fine name for you, my good man. And he like pats you on the thigh a little bit, and then he turns over to the you middleman. He's like, kind of spiffed out there, aren't you?
Spiffed?
Well, yes, all the armor here, and he knocks on your metal plating.
It
Are
is my
afraid of me?
bond. My order.
What? Are you afraid to be beaten up by a pulp by just our hands and bruises? Come on now. You gotta
I
be a
thought we were
real warrior.
grappling.
Ah. Well, anyways,
Why
if
are
you're
there
going to
punches and kicks and claws in the what I assume to be a noble contest of grappling?
Greto pretty much comes up, he's like, because that's not real wrestling. To be a
You
real,
mean to
true
tell me
wrestler.
that wrestling is real?
Of course it is.
The sorcerer
no.
looks in amazement, even insinuating the fact that wrestling is not 100% real.
Well, anyways, if you're going to participate, we need to punch your cards first. Come on.
Wait, so am I good to keep the armor on? Because I do not have a token for armorless Tomeros.
That's
Go
fine.
get the Thamor one
The-
real
I can
quick.
get one
Uh,
real quick.
You get the Thamor one?
Yeah,
Wait, hold
just
on, hold
say
on.
more
Yeah,
about
just
it, put
get
your
that one.
helmet over it.
Just keep your
Actually,
helmet
I'm
on.
gonna go do that. I'm gonna do that on my downtime.
Jack's just over here
Uh,
visibly vibrating the seats.
they basically just wave it off. Ah, fine. We can still take it without all the armor on and whatnot. As long as you don't have your weapons and whatnot, and actually fight us with your main fists. We don't care if you kick or
Ah,
whatever.
good. I'm a
But
little bit
anyway,
slippery under the armor. This is to keep it fair.
are you saying you're sweaty or something? I mean,
Sure.
I mean, I would be sweaty if I have to wear that constantly. But props to you. But anyways, a ticket.
He holds out his
Sorcerer
ticket.
pulls a ticket out of his shorts.
What the hell
Oh,
is
no.
Gex doing?
It's vibrating back and forth apparently.
He's vibrating.
He's making my
Discovered
stream
the
view go
ketamine
crazy.
Gex smells blood.
So Credo and Loretto
Crave
basically
violence.
punch both of your tickets. And then
Mother,
they's like,
I
before
crave
you come into
violence.
the what?
Mother, I crave violence. Energy coming from Gek.
Well, before you come into the ring, we'll explain if we have a couple rules here. Well, as you can tell, there is a red round bounder around all of us. If you step out of the ring, it's an automatic loss. But if you are able to take us down, with all your strength and might and have survived a few rounds, then you might be able to win something. But in any case, at the bell we will start. So take a corner if you like.
So what is our game plan here?
Hunches over with the sorcerer.
The game plan, brother. Divide and conquer. Which one do you think is the easier one to knock out?
Oh dear.
The one on the left seems rather frail. He's also compensating way too hard with that mohawk.
Let's focus the one on the right then. They'll never expect it.
All right.
All right.
Do
So
we have a cheer?
nope, you just hear a bell. And
Okay.
as
So
the
we're at
bell
the
rings,
corners.
we're gonna actually roll some turn orders for you four here. So let's go at it. So I believe you select the token and do the initiative roll, if
So,
I'm correct.
babe,
Yeah.
as GM, you
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
drag select over all 4 of those tokens,
Oh,
and then
okay. Oh, nope.
there's a
so
battle ready.
do a drag box over the 4, and then right-click one of the tokens, and there'll be a little like shield with 2 swords. Click that, and it'll set everybody into a
Oh,
combat.
okay. Why do I have a 37?
Wow.
Something's not right
No,
with
no.
one of the
So
turn orders.
no. The numbers in
Oh,
front of the the numbers on the right are the initiative. The numbers on
uh-huh.
the left are the HP. Only
Oh.
you can see that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You're fine.
20.
Where is... Oh.
It's a fist. There. Oh,
Womp womp.
ouch.
3.
Okay.
Like,
So yeah, so the one that's going to move is the one with the mohawk, and he immediately just starts charging. So let me. Thank you for the music. How do I do the dots? Oh shit. Okay. Oh,
Hold down control
bear
while
with
you're
me.
dragging. So hold down
Oh, thank you.
control, then you can start dragging, and then it's just a left click to.
All right. Yeah. So he's gonna bonus action rage. Um, bear with me. This is all new. Did it appear?
Um, I've got an automated rage if you want it. Nope, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Yes.
And T is gonna come right up to you, Tomaros, and he's going to take a big swing at you. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
You
Yeah.
have
So
to go ahead. Go ahead.
nope. What?
I was gonna say you have
You
to
got-
double right click on your target
Well, she can't, but you can
to
right
target
click
him.
and do the
Oh.
little find the little target icon. GM can't double right click.
Oh, okay, my bad. Ignore me.
Okay. So you select the token and then you try to hit him.
So right click the token you're trying to hit.
Yeah.
There'll be little menu options that come up, and select the one that looks like a target.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, you did that. You're targeting yourself.
Ugh.
Select the token you're
Okay.
attacking. So,
that
or
one.
if you want to, yep, perfect. There you go.
Sorry. Okay. I am so not used to this.
It takes a little bit to get used to, but it'll automate once you get used to it. So
Okay. Does a 19 hit you?
It does.
Okay. Uh. Yeah, it takes 6 points of damage.
No, swinging.
Damn. Wait, should we be at max health right now?
Yeah, I
Oh,
fixed
yeah.
it to your max health, so.
I see.
And then key, once it
Mhm.
underneath that unknown the little box showing with the damage, it should give you the
Mhm.
option to apply that damage to the character.
Which I
It should
did. I
be.
wasn't sure if that it's
Oh yes, it did. You're right.
not. Okay, so I did it twice. I don't know what I
Nope,
just
it'll
did.
only do it once.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So he just did that. He basically just comes flying up towards you, almost like a leap motion, and just basically slams his fist right into your helmet, and you take 6 points of damage.
Hold on.
And then he just
There's one instrument I forgot to bring with me for this. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh no.
and there's no music. There's no
It better
music
be
to
a
make
triangle.
this epic. Okay. Good enough.
Ox, I love you, buddy. You commit. You commit to every character you play.
Thank
It's
you.
What I
wonderful.
love about it.
So yeah, that's his first turn, and I believe I already used my bonus action to rage, and so he's raging. And that brings us to Tomaros. You're right next. You're next.
Alrighty. Oh, that's new. This had a big audio cue when it became my turn.
Yep, that's new.
Am I allowed to? Can I sacred weapon my hands?
Sacred weapon
weapon.
your hands.
Yes.
They are
Uh,
technically fists are technically a simple melee, though I don't think they're simple melee weapons. So I would say yes.
mm,
Wait, they are simple melee weapons.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Ooh,
Oh no.
this changes things.
So
Just
you're
everything.
You could smite with your fists too.
so what you'll
Yeah,
want to do.
that was going to be my next question.
No.
Technically, by raw you can't, but that's a stupid rule, and I think we should ignore it.
Okay.
Seeing
Yeah,
as
I
it
got
is a
this.
stupid rule, I've chosen to ignore it.
There's semantics to it, and it's stupid, so I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, you should have sacred weapon as in your features on your sheet, and all you should have to do is roll it, and it will automatically apply to yourself.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I got it. But I need a DM. Am I allowed?
Yeah, you're allowed.
Okay. Hit that rule. Wait. Oh, it's not even. Do I even need to roll usability? There we go.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Oh.
I love automation. I love it. So now all of
Oh
your
wait, that's an
attacks,
action.
you're
Ah.
using your channel divinity. Yeah.
Oh hell. Yeah. So that's. I guess that's my. Wait. Well, is there anything else I can? Let me look at my bonus action. See what I can do. If there are any.
You buddy, I hate to tell you though, as a paladin myself.
Yeah, what are bonus actions for paladins?
You can cast a
Um,
smite spell.
You have to try and maintain your concentration on it until you're able to
Mm-hmm.
womp someone, but yeah, something you could do.
Wait a minute. Isn't dodge a bonus action? No, never mind.
No,
That's only
it's
for
Axe
rogues.
action, actually.
That's
Rogues
for
and
rogues.
well,
That is
monks
for
actually. Rogues can't dodge bonus action. Anyway,
monks. Never mind.
Oh shit.
I always forget which ones are general purpose bonus actions.
There are none for the martial classes, pretty much.
normally
I
you
would
use
like
your
to.
bonus action for like a 2-weapon fighting type attack or something like that.
Right.
It's
But I do not
perfect.
have 2 weapons. Actually, I do have 2 weapons. Catch these hands. But I can't even attack with one. Damn.
Okay.
Really ain't nothing I can do. Wait, hold
All right.
on.
So, mhm.
During the spell's duration. Oh, I can do Searing Smite, or Thunderous Smite, or Wrathful Smite.
Well, you can cast it to apply to yourself, but the
Yeah, because the next time you hit with the melee weapon attack during this thing's duration.
Yeah, then you hold on to
But
it for a minute.
since we haven't actually prepared any spells since leveling up, because there hasn't been a rest, so I'm guessing I
Not
can't
that
actually use any of these
I I am
unless
going
GM
to
Fiat Gober.
GM is basically saying you guys get the new spells and whatnot, but it's the spell slots that you use during your last encounter you don't recover back. So, like for example, if you had 2 spell slots and then you gained an additional spell with your new spells, you have that one available spell slot.
I have not used any spell slots because I don't get them until level 3.
Well, there you go. You
So
get spell
can I
slots.
prepare? Can I prepare some spells now?
Did it before? You
I
had
mean, like
time.
we didn't long rest. I didn't know. I figured I'd have to wait until the
Do it.
next long rest.
Well,
But
do it
if you
quickly.
okay, one of the spites, wrathful, thunderous, or searing. I think
Wrathful.
wrathful.
It's
Wrathful.
solid.
Yeah. Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
Boom.
So your fists are
Mm,
charged with holy energy.
okay.
Holy damage, and it is terrifying. And I just assume like a fighting stance, like
Have at ye!
All right. And you just basically are glowing with mystical light around your hands and around your whole person. So,
yeah.
and he's just like, Gretel's just kind of like, interesting. I'll keep an eye on you. And would you like to move anywhere?
No, I'll stay exactly where I am.
All right, which brings
Not
us
gonna.
to Loretto. Loretto is actually going to come right straight on down as well towards you, Tomoros. Oh, not Tomoros.
Of
Sorry,
course.
Sorcerer.
Mhm.
My bad.
Well, he only needs to be
And
an AC of 14
okay, well, let's
if
see.
he's attacking.
Babe, did you
He
just
is
drop?
attacking. It was my charger for my computer.
Okay.
So he is also going to slam you with his fist. 15.
Yep, that hits.
Oh, man's a monk.
And that's 7 points of damage. And he is also going to use his special key point to do Fury of Blows.
Oh,
You
jeez.
jerk, even before I get
Ooh.
rage off.
And yeah, so Fury of Blows is basically 2 punches.
Doink.
Doink.
Okay, so the first one didn't hit, which is a good sign.
That's a good sign. I'll take it.
Ah, and then the other one didn't work
Whoa.
either.
Wow.
So he comes towards you and basically slams his fist right into your stomach and then tries to retaliate by doing an uppercut and then trying to jab you right into your hip, but you managed to block it.
Too fast, too furious.
You can't see
um
me.
yeah, because that was his bonus action to use a key point, I believe. And
Yes.
he's going to yeah, that's his turn. Which brings us to you, Sorcerer.
All right. Question. So a ring out
Hmm.
is or at least he loses if he gets rung out, right?
Pretty
If
much.
I grapple him right now, since I'm basically at the
Mm.
edge of the ring, could I
Mhm.
ring him out this turn?
It's a contestant athletics versus athletics if you're going to grapple him. Just to
Yes.
let you know.
That's just fine.
Um, so depending on how successful you are in trying to move him, it's possible.
Okay. I think that's the wisest choice.
Okay.
He gets me good with the first punch, but as I'm able to block the other 2 punches, I flex the muscles. You see the little lightning bolt tattoos are starting to get a little bit more energized, a little more lights bright off of them, shining off them, and I'm going to enter into a rage. As I am going to use its ability, and I'm going to try and grapple him to try and ring him out.
Okay.
So, thankfully, with rage, I get to roll with advantage.
And it should automate that for you.
Yes.
Nice.
There's a 23 versus his
Versus
whatever.
his whatever.
Six
Uh,
acrobatics.
it's a normal roll, so a
Oh, man.
16. Yeah.
So he's grappled. Uh-oh.
Yep, he's grappled.
You can apply that status effect to him.
Okay. There you go. Grapple.
Grappled. It's a bonus, it's
So-
an action.
Mhm.
Continue with what you're
Well,
gonna
since
say.
you have him grappled, so I believe with being in grappling, you're able to move, but at half your movement.
Yes. So with that being the case, I am going to, let's see, I can do 5, 10, 15, right? Maybe try to get my know better. When it comes to grappling, can I basically reorient myself with the target, or is that kind of not defined?
I mean, yeah, you could just move yourself around.
Right,
Like, are you
okay.
going?
Because my logic was thinking if I could reorient myself here and then reorient him here at 10 feet, that way it's a lot easier for me to, knock him up and throw him out.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I would like to do that. Oh wow, it even gives me a ghosted image of where I once was.
Isn't it so nice?
It's an after effect.
All right. So I will
Moving
say
so
you are
fast.
pushing him
Only Washington
here,
room.
right?
Yes,
Correct.
up
Okay.
against the ring.
All right. So he's up against the ring.
Yep, and that should be the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Which brings us back to Greto's turn. So he is, I believe, since he. How does rage work? Okay, so basically, if someone attacks him, his rage disappears, or
No.
no?
If he is
Okay.
attacked or he attacks someone, the rage continues on.
Mhm.
It ends prematurely if you don't get attacked or you don't attack.
So
Ah,
he did attack, so he's
gotcha.
fine.
Okay. So what he's going to do is basically he is just going to continuously just rail on top of you with more of his fists. And since he is raging, he does have advantage, correct?
Nope.
And
No,
You
that's
could
a
normal.
second
if you
attack.
did.
That's
yeah.
reckless.
Ah, okay. Oh well, that missed.
Doesn't matter.
Just like I just stare at him,
Yeah,
clanks
so
off. I
basically,
just like give him. If he could see my eyes, there would be such disdain.
so basically, what happens is that he tries to make another shot towards you, try to like shoot you down where into your knee, but apparently his knuckles just slam into the heavier plate of your armor, and he's just like, "Fucking hell!" Like, and he's like, just scowls and just try, and he just repositions himself like just next in front of you, and um I will say as a yeah, no, yeah, he's gonna end right there. And then it's
Right.
always your turn.
So I'm going to just sort of circle around him with the arms out. You know, like one, the Dark Souls pose, two, Bane into the Dark Knight Rises.
Hmm.
And oh wait, I don't actually have a weapon. Oh hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll me a damage.
Probably also need to
Alrighty.
apply
Oh,
the
that's
smite too.
So now what you'll do
Plus the
is
smite, so that's a 1d6.
so target
Actually, wait,
target the creature, target the Greto or whatever his name is.
and then hit the damage thing from earlier. Yeah.
Actually,
Okay,
you're
so
gonna want to.
Wrathful Smite.
Um,
Does that not do it?
Yeah. Okay, so it's
No
just a
problem.
wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Alternatively, Nox, if you go to the spell
Ha
book at the
ha
bottom.
ha ha.
Oh boy.
You and your brother are the surgest of bands. Now steel yourself to catch these hands.
Okay. All right. So I'm guessing there's a damage to your wrathful smite, which was the 4.
Well, there's the 4, and since they didn't pass the DC, you are frightened of me.
So you should be able to
Oh,
apply the
okay.
frightened. You should be able to apply the frightened condition.
Okay, so
You mean
yeah,
it's
he
just
is
Craig?
frightened.
Always has been.
It's amazing. Don't get me wrong.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, I punched down, I monologued, I am good.
All right. So which brings us to Loretto. So Loretto is pretty much grappled. So what he's going to try to do, he's going to, I believe, to get out of it, he has to make another contestant athletics, I believe.
I think athletics or acrobatics to escape a grapple.
Athletics or acrobatics. Okay.
So
I
at
just heard
least
a very loud boom.
Ooh. Womp womp.
Okay. That didn't really work. All right. So, and I believe that was just his action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and bonus action. He can
don't think
still
he
hit
gets.
with a bonus action, right?
No.
He needs to take the attack action to do that bonus action.
Oh, got it.
Oh.
Never mind. Yep, he's pretty much. You can't do
Can
much
I
right
throw?
now, so
Can I throw my turn?
you can try to throw in your turn. Yes, he can't do
I
anything
will.
right now.
All right. So here's my thought
Fire the
process.
balls.
I'm going to try to do an athletics check to basically,
Mhm.
since I have him pretty well grappled. Actually, first off, he needs to take some damage.
You should have your. Yeah. That one.
Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
with your grapple, you immediately, your hands just immediately just turn into talons as you sink into his skin, and you're full of rage, and you just. Oh, what? 1 second.
Why is
Oh,
it
that's my
slashing
phone.
damage?
Because it's supposed to be like a claw.
It's part of the key. That's how Key asked me to set it up.
Yeah, normally with the unarmed fighting feat, it's just 1d4 bludgeoning damage, but this is Key's homeroom idea.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Someone forgot his phone. Anyways, yeah, so your hands immediately start turning into talons as you grapple your opponent, and then with your full on rage, whatever you need to do, throw.
I will use an athletics check at advantage. And I will
Okay.
narratively apply the.
Oh, that was almost an at 20.
Almost.
Okay.
He needs to
Yeah.
do.
Uh-huh.
I think he needs to do an athletics or acrobatics check to resist.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
will
he?
do just that. Because he's not looking very great right now. Okay.
Because I want to do a bonus action to dash with the rage feature. But I was using that mostly to narratively describe.
He just meets.
I forgot what the meets thing does.
So you're basically trying to throw him, and you're basically, I will say, like, you try to throw him, but he has his feet tied around the rope, making it a
Can
little
I
difficult.
actually? I know that I'm not in the initiative order right now, but can I use a reaction? I
And
have
what
one
kind of
that could help.
reaction?
I want to
What
use
is?
silvery. I want to use silvery barbs on this guy.
Oh, interesting.
Hmm. Roll me a sleight of hand first.
Okay, I can do that. Oh, I rolled an advantage. Sorry, ignore that.
Okay, I will just take the first roll you did. So,
If you click
I
I
don't know
rolled a
what your
6 and a 7.
so it's
I
a
rolled a 6 and
6.
a 7, so 13.
Okay. Um. Doesn't even tell me what their passive perception is.
It's
Lovely.
yeah. Are they showing up on your token bar at the bottom?
Nope.
Try just right-clicking one of them. It might show up then.
Okay, so Loretto doesn't see it. No, nope, both of them don't see it actually.
Sweet. So
So
I cast silvery barbs. Hold on. I will do that. So he needs to re-roll that ability check, and he takes the lower one.
okay. So what did I do before? I did a acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Oh, smart thinking. I didn't even think about that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he
Thank you.
And then and then you choose to give advantage to somebody's next check from that.
Oh, I do.
Give it to anyone.
I'll give it to Tomoro since he's next, and this one's pretty well taken care of.
Okay, so with your amazing eagle hands, and you just basically pull Loretto out of the ring, and where are you throwing him off to?
If I use dash, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
I dash, how far could I throw this goblin? Because my initial thought was just throwing it in the same direction he's bouncing against. But I think
The
it'd be more
wall.
fun and I think it'd be more fun and stylistic if I could go for distance, right? Kobe and all that.
Okay.
God damn it,
So
you and Kobe.
Rip
I have
Kobe.
become the Kobe.
Make sure you chuck him into a car.
And not a helicopter.
Okay, well, yeah.
Oh God, I wasn't even thinking about that part. Oh God,
Wait, which Kobe were you talking about?
Kobe,
The
where
one
you
with the
chucked it
car!
into the tank. You chucked the grenade into
To
tank.
the open window in your car.
It
All right,
wasn't
well,
open. Anyways,
anyways, yeah, I will say you move your full 60. So with the
Yes.
dash, so you're basically throwing him 60 feet.
Yes. You want,
Just
let's
into the
make it.
bleachers.
Let's do it over Gek, because Gek seems like he wants to have a lot of fun.
That's
Oh, no.
25 feet. Oh dear. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
he
just
goes
beyond Gek.
flying. Just beyond him, but he's out. He's out of the ring, so he's no longer in the turtle. Barely as his foot almost grazes your eyeballs, Gek, as he flies overhead. I can't really take him out of the screen, so we're just pretending he's away
You should be able to
out of the tournament.
make him invisible. That'll remove him. The little looking
He
invisible
never
thing.
told me.
Top right. Right click him. Top
Thank you.
right.
There you go.
All right,
I did it. Did it?
Yeah, he's
one more
gone.
question.
Hmm.
Do I still have any movement left? It's fine if I don't.
I mean, you used your dash and you used your bonus
Normal movement
action.
to yeet him. That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. In
No,
my
I
turn.
mean, well, you can't. You do have your movement still. I'm just saying.
All right, then I'll try to get into more of a flanking position from this guy.
And then you should be able to key right click that creature and remove
There
it
you
from the turn. Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Right. Then I will end my turn.
You will end your turn. Okay, so that brings us back up to Greto. He's just like, oh fucking hell! Of course he will be the first one to go. He just looks between both of you and he's like, well, shit. um, but he's just like, okay, so we're gonna play it that way. I say how it is. Right. He basically just turns back around to face you, sorcerer, and then he's gonna do a grapple of his own towards you.
Which is good. We both roll with advantage.
All right.
Quick housekeeping thing.
Good
If
grief, man.
Jesus.
Well,
Well,
I did
you're
get
I
that
mean, he
one.
rolled.
you're holding hands.
I'm not grappled here with you. You're grappled here with me.
Casually and sensually.
It's
Casually and
two
sensually.
near naked men. What else did you expect?
Also, for
There's
the
a clear
record,
size difference.
this guy has disadvantage because I am right behind him and he is frightened of me.
He is within
Well,
range.
yeah. Okay, so it should be a normal roll. Well, I don't know what I just rolled. Normal roll was a 19? Right? Nope, 16.
Yeah, you should be able to just click the roll that he made and see which one was first.
The first one was 19, which was the advantage, and then there was the 16.
Well, then that means the first one he rolled was a 19.
Okay. So it's still a 26, unfortunately.
But he rolled a nat 20.
He did roll in at 20, so basically the way I see it is that they're holding hands, staring menacingly, one very tall creature with one little tiny creature at a very odd angle. So you're basically lurching over them, and you're just contesting against each other. So I will say your talons are still existent. So go ahead and roll me your talon for attack.
Neat.
Because you rolled a natural 20. I will say that.
I assume it'll be a normal and not a.
Yes, it's normal.
Yeah, super. I'll take the 7. You'll hear the
Okay.
sorcerer start screaming or yelling in Celestial as this is happening, as he's being pushed to his limit.
Be
All right,
not
so
afraid.
since he takes half that, he only takes 3 points of damage.
Yep.
All right. And then he's just going like, this is bullshit. Just get stupid human. And he basically lets go of your hands after he feels something peers into his own. He's like, oh, nice little trick there. And then he's like, that's okay. I got something like that too. But he basically is actually going to use his bonus action to disengage with nimble escape.
Oh.
Goblins.
Goblins. So he's going to move his 30 feet to get out of the way. Just 15. Just preparing himself. He's like, okay. He's shaking his hands a little bit, dropping the little bloods here and there, and he's like, I got this. And then he just basically faces back over to both of you, and then it brings us to Tomorosa's turn.
I love the sound effect that happens when it at the start of your turn. I would like to advance menacingly, my eyes glowing towards him.
Okay.
Frightened doesn't give me any. No, it's just disadvantage.
But you have advantage anyway because I used
Oh,
silvery barbs earlier.
true. All right, let me see. Let me play around with some of my new my fancy new toys.
Oh no.
Oh, this is hilarious. I can compel duel him. I can compel duel him, which means he gets. Is there such thing as double disadvantage?
No.
No, it's just
Damn.
disadvantage.
Just make sure it's not an action, and you check the kind of cast time it is.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it'll just. Well, he's raging, right?
Yep, he is raging.
Okay. I don't think raging resists radiant damage. I'd like to punch him.
Okay.
I don't think this rage
Lucky
resists
token.
it.
There's only one rage that
That
resists
hits.
radiant damage.
All right.
Roll again. You got
And-
advantage. See if you can get in
Oh,
that 20.
true.
Wow.
I mean, either way,
Literally the
it's
same roll. Okay.
literally the same roll.
And
Roll
like
the
to also divine smite.
Well, okay, roll your damage and then roll your divine smite.
Yeah, roll the damage and then.
It actually it doesn't need to be rolled because it's 1 plus my strength modifier, so it's going to be 5 every time.
Well, it makes
Yeah,
it so
but-
that key can automate the damage.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell does versatile mean with
No
divine
idea.
smite?
Just roll the damage.
Versatile is if you're hitting like a fiend or something else, you can do the extra little bit of damage with it.
Yeah, he's not looking good right now.
I'm just like this time I'm not saying anything. I'm just like towering over him. You know what? Fuck it. I'm
Mhm.
T-posing to assert dominance. I'm still doing the like arms wide, like come at me pose, just like looming over him.
Now,
Okay, so
did that ask you to
Mhm.
consume a spell slot, Nox?
I don't believe it did.
Okay, I didn't put the automated one on your sheet. Okay, never mind. I'll do that
So
later.
I'll, hold on, I can.
okay, well, yeah. So you just come forward, and I don't. Are you like slamming your fist in his face, or what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm just I just walk over and like bonk him downwards. You know
Okay.
what? No, I backhand slap him. Just like this brilliant flash of light goes out there. Everything is glowing. And I just sort of loom over him like a come at me.
Right. Well, you managed to knock out a few teeth out of his mouth, and
Jesus.
you watch as a couple teeth scatter across the floor, and he's just like, "Oh, that one packed a real punch. I like it." And he just spits on the ground. Anything else you would like to do?
Just thinking to myself,
Soon he too will become a disciple of the sun. Excellent.
Yeah,
No,
did you
that's-
see where his teeth went?
All over, I think.
user Knox lacks permission to update actor. To update my own.
Nah, that's.
Oh wait, no,
that
it's
pops
Sorcerer's
up.
turn now.
That
Nah,
just-
it's Sorcerer's turn. Now we're good.
Yep, it's Sorcerer's turn.
With the speed of an eagle, he is going to, let's see, it was control, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is basically going to, as he's being dizzied around by, is it control or alt?
I just drag your token.
That works.
Whee! There you go.
Whee! Dizzying around, he is dashing really fast, and he's going to try to do a, basically try to knock him out in the back with some non-lethal bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Do we do flanking here or no?
Yeah, you have advantage flanking, so
Yes.
We'll roll that again.
Roll that again.
It should prompt advantage.
Jesus
Ugh.
Christ! What the?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, yeah, it should ask you if you can do advantage, but you guys aren't clicking
Yeah.
it. You're clicking too fast.
That
That's
is
okay.
twice now. You've re-rolled for advantage and rolled the exact same number.
Well,
I think it's
you
only fair
fly
it
like
tries.
you fly like an eagle, and you get behind him with a nice swerve of your feet, but then your feet kind of slip, and your hand just goes wide, just brushing past his mohawk, and he just feels the breeze, and he's like, "Whoa, watch the fro."
This guy's gonna need to disengage real quickly again. Being careful.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay,
Just disappointed by the 2-2s.
by the tutus. Okay.
Yeah.
He is okay. Well, bear with me. um.
The crowd goes mild.
Well, we know his bonus action has to be. He's even thinking about moving.
Yeah, he's about moving. Yep. So he's just basically kind of like, He is still I don't know how frightened works, but does he have to make
Can't.
a?
You can click on the in chat the frightened box from basically disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while I'm within line of sight. So I'm literally right behind him.
Okay.
That
And he
counts.
can't move closer. To
I
be
can't.
Right.
He
precise.
can't
So
willingly move closer.
so he basically turns back around. He's like, "I'm not messing with you anymore." Sorcerer. Right. Your turn, Buttercup. And he's just going to throw a punch at a disadvantage because he's still frightened. So, yay, disadvantage! I've hit the wrong person, but
15, it still would have missed.
it still would have missed. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be told this. I'm not bad. So he's like, yeah,
He's flailing wildly in fear.
okay. Well, you know about this, right? The thing is, he kind of like tries to make an excuse. Okay, bye.
It's okay.
He's going to disengage again. um,
And
You
Key,
can
just
attack,
don't.
run
He also,
away. I can.
yeah, he can also spend his action to try to clear that frightened with a wisdom,
yeah, well,
wisdom check. But
Oh,
Too late.
that's an action,
too late.
so he already punched.
Yes, he already punched. But he is just going to disengage again, trying to find some room where you guys are not ganging up on him. So,
can't be closer to him. So
One's Greto, or is this one?
this one is Greto.
Okay.
it's pretty much anywhere in this radius.
Pretty much. He is going to go over here. And he's just like, fuck. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Where is it? And he's like, patting on his pants and everything. But yeah, that's his turn.
Oh no.
All right, I know exactly what I want to do.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna slow walk over, real menacing like. It's still on their turn.
You
Oh.
need to hit and turn for.
There you go.
There we go. And slow walk over, real menacing, eye still glowing, and I'd like to cast Power Word Command. Wait, no,
Oh dear.
Command, not Power. It's Power
Okay.
Word Command, and just point to the like outside of the ring and just go,
Begin!
Okay. Go.
Oh
Can
no.
you drop the spell list for me?
It should prompt a save.
Up.
so
Thank
flee
you.
basically.
Flee, and it's a.
The funny thing about
normal-
command is those are just examples.
It's
Oh
a
wait,
15.
really? Ah, damn.
So he just looks at you, kind of like almost. It almost looks like it seemed to be working as a flash, kind of appears in his eyes, but then he just shakes his head. And he's like, "All right, that's just not fair."
Can I silvery barbs again? I'm in range.
Please.
Silvery barbs is
Call
so
me another
broken.
sleight of hand.
I love this ability.
Is this
Such a-
sleight of hand to use it, or sleight of hand to?
No, it
We don't want to get
doesn't.
DQ'd from.
Oh,
Such a
Yeah,
broken spell.
Yep.
I'd say that works. So,
Mhm.
so
I will re-roll this wisdom saving throw.
re-roll.
Meh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I love this ability so much.
Well, I'm
Current
just gonna
spell slots.
say, let's
That's
just say he's
fine.
charmed. He is charmed, and then he's just like, right. Well, you did your best, and pat myself on my shoulder here. Yep. And I'm gonna get going. Bye.
Runs away screaming.
No, and then you just hear a ding 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 bell as you both won the fight. And then
Yes!
Yes.
Lordo personally comes down from the stands. He's like, "Excuse me," and then he kind of like pushes Gek out of the side for a second. "Sorry, buddy." God, that fucking smarted. And he comes back into the ring and looks over his brother. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" "Nothing." Such
He's
a
so frightened.
pansy.
They realize the futility of his struggle.
Well, you did good. You did quite well than what we expected. You even knocked Greta off pretty well there. I don't know what you did to him, but props to you. As promised, you guys do get reward. So both of you, I would like you to roll me
Ending.
a d8, please.
Complimentary spring roll.
Tights of holding.
Okay,
Jeez.
so he basically in his hand he has like a bag kind of thing, and it's all bumbled and everything. He reaches in and basically goes over. Let's say he's right next to Tormos, and he's like, "All right, since you did them with the glowy hand shit kind of thing, I respect you for that. But this is your prize." And he basically gives you a familiar wand that you've seen your little gnome friend have, and gives you a wooden wand with 8 charges. It's basically for prestidigitation cantrip.
Yep. Prestidigitation. 8
That
charges.
you know what 8 charges.
Ooh.
Then
Is
he
there,
moves
is there
over.
an item I can grab for that?
There should
Compendium?
be. It's in.
Yes.
It's in. Yeah, it's in either the homebrew folder or whatnot. You can just drag one and drop it onto a sheet.
Yep. And then he goes over to you, sorcerer, and basically reaches in, and you get a packet of pixie dust.
Ooh. Pixie dust is fun.
He basically takes off the one off his belt and gives it to you. He's like, "There you go. You did good, boy."
Thank you.
Thing. Whatever your name. Sorcerer. That was what it was, right?
Yes, the sorcerer.
Yeah, that's when Brandy elbows Yan after hearing
She,
the
she
sorcerer.
takes out her horn and do 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 do.
I'd like to like put my hand up in the air and like raise it with the classic like yeah.
Woo!
After a while, you eventually see Grito come over feeling like a tail tucked between the legs kind of every day. He's like, "You did good, boys. You did good. Fuck you, though."
Respectfully,
Well
fuck you.
done. You too.
Well, I don't know about you, Loretto, but I'm going to have a word with some people about changing the rules. Greta, we are the ones who are in charge. Never mind. Just, I need an ice pack. Where's the ice pack? So he basically exits the ring for a second, goes over to his personal corner, and Loretto just shakes his head. Well, you guys did good. Congratulations.
I heard there were
Have
tights
fun.
of holding. Do you
Tights
know I
of-
can get heights of holding?
Tights of holding.
Heights of
Holding?
holding.
Tights of holding. I didn't know you need to wear some tights.
Looks down. It's for a thing.
My God, that's a potato.
I don't know
Is
if that's
that
a
a
potato,
potato
or if
in
you're
your
glad to
pocket?
see me.
I must be hearing things.
Leonardo he basically glances down at your pants. It's like, not at the potato or anything like that. He's just like observing your flames and everything. And he's like, "I don't think you need to, disturb the image that you have, boy or sorcerer. I think you're just fine as you are. But if you need pockets, I mean, there's some stalls that you can just grab some purses and stuff like that. A man purse, pretty much.
Mm.
Or you can have a fanny pack.
I looks
You
over
ever
at
heard of a
Tomaros. Fanny pack of holding?
No, it's like a satchel that sits right here, and he like motions over his groin.
It would go with your whole aesthetic.
I'll have to think about that.
Well, it's any stall, really. I mean, you're in the gaming area. There's some selling stalls, some handcrafted stuff you can buy, and blah 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 blah. But anyways, good show. And he gives you a pat and kind of like awfully looks at your hands for a second, very wary of them as he recalls seeing talons of some sort. But then he's like, "Yeah, later," and makes his way away from the ring to join his brother, basically toweling themselves off and taking drinks that they have off to the side. So, yay! You guys have won! Yay! Prizes!
I'm not winning in
Prizes.
You might want
combat.
to kill the turn order because I
Oh,
don't
you're
think
correct.
anyone can move until.
Boop.
Nice.
There you go.
Also, where's the wand of prestidigitation found? I couldn't find it in any of the compendiums.
It's not in the
Pre-made
compendium.
magic items.
You've got to.
We have a
Okay,
thingy.
you've got to drag it. You just drag it and drop
Yep,
it
yep,
on the
yep, yep.
sheet.
Grab his sheet. Oh,
Yeah, I
Just
also
the
need to
bot.
find the pixie dust somewhere.
did
in
I
the-
lose? Who do
It's
we
just
lose?
the bot.
I think
The
we just
bot.
lost Tip.
Just the
Okay,
arena.
I was like concerned. I was like, what happened? A lot of sheets going on here. There you go. It's in your sheet now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh.
If you could do
Okay.
that with the pixie dust, that'd be super too.
Oh, pixie dust. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Pixie
no
dust
problem.
actually is in
Which compendium?
I'm just gonna grab a random person and just grab your random sheet.
it's in mine if you want to grab mine.
I
It's
can't
in
see yours.
Brandywine's too.
Oh.
So 1 second. It's not in Brandywine. Brandywine, you lied.
She's not
I
Brandy.
lied.
You can actually grab Pixie Dust from Plutonium. That's where I found mine.
Well, hers is missing for some reason.
It's-
So
Grab it from Yanara's.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I totally
doing.
have it. Yeah.
So I need to find
Boop.
pixie. Oh, you
Did
dropped
it
it.
do it? I think I did. Should be in inventory, I think. Or unless it didn't do it. There you go.
There we go. Ooh,
It's a cool little item.
seems so.
Did you get it as a feature?
Yes,
We
you
both
got
have
it as
it.
a feature. Because you're a Witchlight hand.
I don't.
So you join your friends, or are you just going to stand in the arena and just gloat your glory?
Ah, who's next?
We're doing the hand raising and yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes,
All right, Tomaros, we can. I think we got enough.
Yes! Yeah! Oh, okay.
Let's go
Okay.
see our friends.
Oh, that was very good. You guys did so well.
Thank
It
you.
seems
Thank
the
you.
divine was on our side today. Our luck was unbelievable.
Yes, it was quite fortuitous in the arena.
Like some great being was watching from the sidelines, cheering us on.
I don't know about any
Yes.
great beings.
Oh,
Brandy puts her face in her hands.
Perhaps even a celestial themselves.
Or perhaps the sun.
Well, it is above
Um,
us, so
Yes, as I don't know what celestial for sun is, but he's gonna say the sun and celestial.
Brandywine, you
El
understand it.
Sol.
El Sol.
El Sol. Okay,
El
Celestial.
Celestial is now
now-
Spanish.
I was gonna say Latin, but that works too, I guess.
You know, that actually
El
makes a lot of sense. Latin?
Solestivo.
Soleil,
El Sol.
or whatever.
Soleil is
Or
French.
Solus.
Solus would be Latin.
Solus.
El Solus.
Except for Tyrannos.
So you meet with your friends and you gather your stuff together. Is anyone else wanting to participate in the arena unless you go about your way?
Well, Gek, I think, was wanting to fight someone.
Kick, did you want to fight?
Gek does.
Okay, you can fight. Who do you? So,
Just
are you
imagine-
gonna go down?
Just imagine this entire time while he was like vibrating on the chair, PB just came over, just has a hand like keeping him planted in the seat,
Just recharging via kinetic.
noticing the one that would be disturbing the peace the most.
Essentially. Yeah, Gek scrambling into the ring.
Okay. So the guys notice ya, and then they're like, 1 minute, and then they both take down some healing potions.
Glug glug glug.
So 1 moment, because
Will
She's
not be
pretty
as
hot.
generous with the
Back.
silvery barbs this time. I'm just throwing that out there because I only have one spell slot left.
Those were clutch though.
they were
Hey,
clutch.
I had fun with
Why
it.
not? I have a 1d100 that might do something.
Might do something.
What are you doing?
What in the fuck is going on with
It's
your?
not disappearing. It's just.
It did.
Oh wait. It's okay. Yeah. Never mind. It's just for some reason still in the drop down menu.
Yeah,
for effects.
it turns it to inactive.
Hmm.
If nothing, if at first it's OTC,
Oh,
keep
that's not
clicking.
good.
Well, because it did a minus, then a plus, and then a minus, but it didn't
Oh,
go
that's
away.
not
It was-
what I meant to do. Fuck.
What are you?
Damn it.
There was happening
Ow.
outside the rings.
Bear with me. Okay. So they are going to take their potion of healing.
Oh, hey, I guess
That
we're
is
doing a take
not
trade.
towards shit. That was, I don't know why it's still selected on Tomaru's.
Because
So I'm
you have him targeted.
Hey, hey, Trig.
okay. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, fix your
No,
thing.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just
a
gonna
quick-
ask how I get an arm strike on my character sheet.
Where did you get it? You got it from plutonium, Nox.
Which?
Your punch,
Unarmed
your unarmed
strike?
strike.
Oh, it's from one of the compendiums. I was.
Okay, that makes sense. Go to
Yeah, I think class features.
yeah, go to items, compendium, or go to compendiums, item, class features. Let's see if it's in there.
That's wrong button.
That's not the one.
Not that one.
Classes? No. Features? It was one of these.
Unarmed strike. It's in items, SRD.
Items SRD?
The compendium. And then search at the top, unarmed.
Ah, there we go.
And just drag and drop it onto your sheet.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay. So as you come down, Gek, Loretto sees you coming, and then he's like, "I'll take care of this one." All right, little one, you got. You want to take a little fight, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have all your weapons off?
Yes.
He eyes you. Did you take off your weapons?
Yes, I took them all off. They're all just
Okay.
in a pile over there by the badger.
Okay.
The
So he
badger is now the
basically-
world of a
he-
great axe.
So he basically gives you a glance over, and he's like, "All right, I just need your ticket."
Here you go.
All
Hands
right.
it
So he
in.
gives him a punch, and he's like, "All right, just like my brother said earlier, the red rings. So technically, if you step out of bounds, you automatically lose. Or if you're able to pummel us to the ground, and/or you give up, then you win, and you get the prize. But when the bell rings, order we'll go. So take a corner and we'll go from there.
He's out rings. I win.
DM had a difficult.
The bell didn't ring yet.
The bell didn't ring yet. So he's basically going towards the other side of the ring, and just like basically stretching out his muscles in here and there. All right. So with the bell ringing, we're just gonna go ahead and just. Well, I don't know why it does that. Okay, so how do I do this again? So there. Okay, I got it. Sorry. Okay. So yep. So basically he's up here. Yeah, you're okay. So he's basically going on the other side of the ring. You're on the other side of the ring, and you hear the bell ring, and immediately he just starts running your way.
Start combat.
That would help. There we go.
Doink.
So he moves his full 20 feet, 25 feet, and then he's basically just gonna wail right on top of you. Very
God, not the
fantasy, very fantasy-like music going on.
Yeah, I know.
Leave it.
Just leave it. Okay. Does a why? Why is it? Why is it?
The goblin's hand ejects from his shoulder and then hits.
I'm so
Sword
sorry.
Sorcerer.
It's 17 on Gek. I'm sorry.
Yes, 15 hits.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to apply damage towards the sorcerer. If it, I apologize if it does. It's not towards you. It's actually 4 towards you, Gek. And then he is actually going to spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows. Alright, so Flurry of Blows.
Doink.
Why has run out of its designated item uses? What do you mean?
Is
Do
he
you
out
have
of
key
You can
points?
use all his key points.
No. There we go. Guess he had one more left. And of course it doesn't show anything, but whatever. So Flurry of Blows.
It's just telling you that you
Yeah,
used the
this
bonus
is-
action. It's not actually going into the attack.
It's still targeting the sorcerer.
It's still targeting.
Untarget the sorcerer. You have him targeted. There you
I
go.
did untarget him, but well, it misses anyways. And he has the other one. Okay.
That one meets.
Got a bunch
take-
of chunky.
There you go. Alright. Now he basically is now your turn. Woo. And I will boop.
Fine. Okay, well, sure, I'll do that. The reason it requires me to target him, the Wild Surge.
Hmm.
Well, I am raging.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yes.
There should be.
Oh no.
I did create the roll table for it, so.
Oh
never
god.
mind. That's right. You got the special roll table.
Yeah.
Yep. I have
Oh,
to
no.
bring it up. So
have
one
it?
second.
Oh god, what
I
has he
still have
done?
it.
What has he
Yes.
done?
Cast
my God.
fireball.
No, nope. This one.
Firestorm.
This is essentially what you guys did for Tomorrow's. Not for Tomorrow's, for the wizard.
Make
While
sure
you are raging, the light within 20 feet takes on a deep red hue and acquires stars singing, and you have advantage on intimidation checks.
You could do that. You could set his light to be 20 feet of red light. You do it on his token. Actually, Gek could do it.
Devil kobold. He really is a tiny dragon.
I I don't know how to do the light thingy.
Right click, go to token
Yeah,
settings.
which I did.
Go to light.
Mm-hmm.
Set it to 20 feet. 20-foot
For
radius.
bright.
Bright. And then set the color to red. And update token.
Wow.
He just
Roar.
immediately was like, "What the fuck just happened?" I just
I
basically.
accidentally clicked the wrong one.
He
I didn't click
basically
anything.
just. Uh huh.
Okay, let me fix that.
Okay, so.
Just make sure you also use your rage. So
Mhm.
that'll put the
yeah.
active effect on you. It'll ask you, you've already used your bonus action, just ignore it.
Yep.
Alright. Alright, so.
I would like to attack.
Okay, you would like to attack. Go ahead and try to attack. Yeah, he's going to deflect it.
Wait,
and
what?
My fist are missiles.
It's not yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It just gave me a prompt. Sorry, ignore it.
It's because it automatically checks for reactions. You just have to click
Oh,
just have to click the X if it's not in a reaction you don't want to use.
My bad. Never mind. He does not use it. I don't know why there's a circle on it. So.
So we can get rid of that. That's just his reaction. That's showing that he's used his reaction, which he really hasn't. So it's not a problem. Once it gets back to his turn, it'll go away.
Okay. Well, yep. So that 17 hits and he takes 8 points of damage, which I will apply. There you go. Woo.
It kicks rears back and just like, full on punches this guy right in the arm. Sucker punches him.
Okay. It's a little awkward because he's a little bit, maybe like 2 feet taller than you, because you're a very tiny thing.
This goblin's like 5 foot. Oh shit.
No. How tall are you? 3 feet?
3 feet.
Oh, he's like 3.5. My bad. A few feet. Not a few inches. Okay, so would you like to move anywhere?
Yes, over here. Get away from the edge.
Okay. All right. So brings us back to his turn. He is going to. What is he going to do? He is going to. Yep, he's just going to punch you. That's all. That's all he can really do. Which misses.
Oh no.
Woo!
And I don't think he gets a bonus attack right off the bat. So.
Yeah, he does. It's part of his
he does?
martial arts feature. He can make one unarmed attack as a bonus action.
Okay. So. Yep, he's okay. So he's just going to do the bonus action again, which hits. So the first one kind of goes wide, as he tries to strike you with his palms, against your chest, but it mostly kind of goes a little wide. And then the second one, he just kind of drives his other hand down, bringing right on top of your shoulder, kind of like almost slamming you down a little bit, and you take. 7. Nope. I take it back. Take 3 points damage.
Woo!
And yep, and that's it.
Well, you know what I'm doing.
I think your hat is
okay.
half, right?
It should have.
Yeah, instead of 7, I took 3.
Yeah, it applies to half automatically.
Oh, that's handy.
Automation, my friend.
I rolled another 10.
Yep, roll me the damage.
Ooh, I could play with the dice.
Another 8.
He's looking pretty hurt. How do you wanna basically slam your fist into him?
Oh, wait, is he done? Or
No,
pretty
he's
hurt?
not done.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just asking you, how do you want to flavor your?
He's Max
attack?
Gecker and on the boot and no, not boot, nose.
Okay. You.
Gecker's gonna slam my hand into his stomach.
Okay. So yeah, the first strike that you did, you just hear a very distinct guffaw, and you feel a little spittle splash into your eyes. He's like, "What the fuck? What is going on today? Must be a very bad day for me.
I'm invincible."
Yeah, you're glowing red too. That's not normal."
Give up.
Would you?
Give up.
And no,
my
I'm
turn.
not gonna give up. Yep, that ends your turn. Okay, what can he do?
Punch.
Well, I used all my key points, so pretty much all he can do is basically punch you. A 23.
That definitely hits.
Doink.
And then he'll do it again.
Hits
And he'll do it again.
again.
No, I'm just joking.
Wait.
So no, he basically is just kind of like palm striking you and very distinctive points in your chest and in your stomach, trying to it hurts. It really stings. It stinks, but you're still standing strong compared to what he is. And he is going to do nimble escape himself to disengage a little bit to gain some footing, and just move a little bit further away from the ring, just eyeing your coordination before it goes to your turn.
The eyes are going different directions.
You don't know where he's gonna hit. Neither does Gek. Gek goes running up to him to try and goes to give like a flying punch.
Okay.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yep, rolled my damage.
God, it's not
Crunch.
Wow.
It's always going to be an 8. You don't ever do anything other than 8. It's 1 plus your strength mod plus your rage bonus.
Oh, okay.
So, are you doing a lethal blow or are you doing a
No,
knockout
definitely
blow?
not lethal.
Okay. So
Definitely not
how do you want to do your non-lethal blow?
He said Gek, sorry, spring to this guy, just jumps into the air and comes down. Elbow first.
All right, so you basically jump from where you are after running after him, and then you just drive your elbow straight down into his throat, and he just and you put the force that you have with your tiny little body, you just string him straight on down, and he is knocked out cold.
Elbowing someone in the throat with like maximum force definitely is a lethal blow.
And you just
He's also,
like
he's also like a 25-pound kobold, so it's more just like a really obnoxious wind blow.
With insane strength.
Yeah, we end the turn order, and you just see on the other side, Greto is just like, what the fuck was that? Why is it
Still around,
glowing
still red.
Why
is
is
it still playing?
why is the kobold glowing?
Enthusiastic
Little
applause.
guy, hold still, stop. So he just basically grabs you by the head, and just like as your little feet are kicking, he's like, okay, just settle down. I have your prize. Woo. Roll me a d8, please. A 6. All right, hold still. And then he pulls out something from his pocket, and it looks like a paintbrush, and then he starts painting your face.
Watch the eyes!
And as he's like painting around, he's like making little weird symbols on your face, and then you just feel magic kind of flow through you. And at any point in time, what this does, it's on your whatever it takes an action, but you're able to disguise yourself.
Oh lord.
Mmm.
And
Okay.
it lasts for an hour, so it's an action to if you want to disguise yourself.
Got it. Thank you.
This is wonderfully terrific. As in terror.
I am just writing this in here. 1 second.
See, Gek doesn't need a spell cast to make his own music.
And and then he's like, "All right," and then he lets you go, and tucks the brush back in before going over to Loretto and kind of like kicking him on his feet. He's like, "Oi, you plumb ahead! Why'd you let it go so easily?"
Excuse me, let me treat the poor man. Don't
Who
kick
are
a
you?
wounded man. I am a concerned spectator. I want to treat this man correctly, not with your boot.
It's just my brother. He can take it.
She's like sitting down. She's pulled out her healing kit. Her healer's kit. She's gonna start bandaging him up.
Okay. So he bandaged him up, and he comes back with, we'll just say 1 HP. If I can get the sinking symbol off of him. How do I get the symbol off of him?
You just, well, you give him 1 HP back.
Which I did.
And then if you go to the his token, there you go.
Okay. He just basically wakes up to a very pretty gnome, and he's like, "Are you an angel, or am I just dreaming?"
Oh, no, not an angel, just a physician. You got pretty beat up there. Not that I...
Yeah. And he basically clutches his nose and his stomach, and he's like, "What the fuck happened?" And Greta's like, "You got fucking whooped, that's what happened. What the fuck?"
Excuse me, let me treat
What?
my patient. You take your language and go elsewhere. If you can't
No.
watch your language, I won't have you at my triage location. Shoo! Shoo!
He's not budging. And he was like, "Well, listen to the lady, jeez. No. I want to be treated too."
Oh, then that's okay. Please take a seat. I will get to you once I have finished him.
Oh no.
Okay. And he basically plops onto his butt.
Yep. So, yeah, Fee's just bandaging him up using her healer's kit. Can I make a medicine check?
Sure.
Okie dokie. Roll my medicine.
All right. Yeah, that works very well. You bandage him up very nice and precisely with all your expertise that you have in your field. Everything seems to be quite all right, and he's very appreciated.
Just be careful around your nose. It was dislocated. I have set it back. But it's going to be sore for a couple of days. Now, you, well,
She turns to the other one.
you seem to be all right. A little. There's a little strange, maybe, racing of your heartbeat a little bit. I
Well,
don't
I
think
did
it's...
knock out a couple of teeth there, and I chipped my lips a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing really I can do
And
about that.
Loretto just basically punches him.
So Brandy would like to use message and send
Okay.
it to one of the brothers,
Mhm.
whoever is being treated like right in this moment, and said,
Which is Loretto just finished, so Greto is being a weirdo.
Gonna send it to the person that just got finished, and she's gonna say, "So, which one of you is gonna propose first?"
Loretto basically replies back and he's like, well, are you jealous?
That is not how Brandy thought the reply was going to go, and she's going to cross her arms and then sink into her seat with a blush.
Dex just look at you.
Loretto just basically replies back to me. He's like, oh, come now, Brandywine, don't get all gushy on me. And he basically, just across the wing, he gives you a flirtatious wink.
She's gonna message right back, and Yan can probably easily read as she yells, but because message is private between sender and sendee, fuck you!
Loretto just immediately starts laughing, and Gretel just looks at him oddly, but he's like, turns around and he's like, oh, now I get it. Right. Anyways, are you gonna patch me up, though?
Yes.
All
yes.
right, Peanut Gallery. What's next after Fee is done mussing over those two lunkheads?
Fee's got her stuff out and she's fixing them.
There's really nothing I can do about the teeth. I'm sure you could talk to some of your associates. There's probably some costume artists or something that could probably make you some prosthetics. You'll need a very strong adhesive to attach them, but well, if you need any help with that, I can definitely assist. Here, let me set that.
And she like grabs his, shoulder that's a little busted up, and she just kind of like,
Now, hold still. This may hurt.
and she takes like a rod. There's like a rod that she pulls out of her bag, and she uses it as leverage to set his shoulder back into place.
Oh Lord.
Roll me a medicine check.
Oh no. Oof.
It stung. You just hear a very loud pop, and then you just hear Gretel go, oh, son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. It was necessary, otherwise you would have a lot more trouble later. You needed this for healing properly. Let me bind it.
And she like wraps a sling around his arm and kind of gets his arm, uptight.
You'll need to rest it for a couple days. Again, nothing serious. You seem to be in better nick than your brother here. But
He's always a pussy anyways.
language.
Yeah, listen to the lady.
And she stands up and kind of brushes herself off and smiles at the two.
Well, thank you both for entertaining my friends. I wish you quick healing. And I'm sure we'll see you later. Bye.
She kind of like skips off away from him.
They watch you as you leave, and they're like, and then they basically look at each other, and they're like, she's mine! And they start downwards. And they basically tackle each other to the floor.
Sorcerer, could you help me up? That's really high up there.
Yes.
There can only be one kick.
Sorcerer lends a hand.
Oh, thank you. Right. Well, that was wonderfully entertaining. Tomaros, Sorcerer, Gek, you guys were brilliant. Are you hurt at all? Do you need any... well, Sorcerer, you seem to be alright. Little bruising here. Are you okay, Tomaros?
Have I ever mentioned that the food here is magical? Who's hungry?
There's food? Oh, yes, that's right. I had a pastry earlier.
I bit my tongue.
I'm still a bit sore from that fall we took in the tunnels. If you have anything that would help with that.
Oh, well, I do have a couple of my...
character, though. Do you think lay on hands will, replace teeth? Do you think teeth can grow back with lay on hands?
Probably need
Or,
regeneration.
just push them back into place?
I mean...
Is that what you want to do with the goblin? That's pretty much they're tackling each other right now.
I feel a little bit bad.
Nah, they're fine.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I have a couple of spare of my healing tinctures. If anybody is seriously injured, Gek, you definitely traded some blows with that guy.
I'll take one.
Oh, sure.
She kind of just hops over and let's target Gek.
So, by now, the choir probably stopped playing, and with a heavy light switch sound, the light just pops away.
Oh, I kind of like that ambiance.
There you go. 9 points of healing back to.
Ooh, thank you.
Gek. There, that should help. And you see as it she sprays this like canister almost on your wounds, and you see some of the skin, the bruising fades, and there's a little bit of a waft of like what you would think to be some sort of berry or some sort of berry juice. It wafts over. That should help. I can't do a whole lot more than what I did, but
Oh, that smells good.
oh
Brandy
yes,
sneezes.
listen tight.
Bless
Are
you.
looking at Gek when you sneeze?
She sneezes onto one of his eyes. Sure. On accident. Sorry, that sense. Oh, I don't know if I should. Oh.
Hey, how many times have I told you to cover your mouth?
Way too many that I can count.
Maybe start listening to me.
I try not to. But
Wow.
sometimes, maybe here,
Brandy,
Gek,
just point where you're
come
at,
back
okay?
here.
No, don't touch my eyes.
She's just going to use prestidigitation to clean
Oh jeez.
snot off.
If you need help with your eyes again,
No.
So, with your prestidigitation, I can't say it, but how are you cleaning his eyeballs?
She uses the Fey Witchlight power vested in her, and just it looks like dust is coming out of her fingertips, and it, like eye drops, goes in and then clears out all the nasty gunk from both the fight and also from her sneeze due to Fee. Is that better?
You poured dust in my eye.
Yes, but it's helping dust.
Here's Basim, and you poked my eye.
Gek, no. The good one.
So, as Gek, as you run into the establishment, you're immediately treated by several different smells and different platters of food lined along the bar and along the tables, and you see a almost a very moderate woman dressed in clown jester cut uniform, her face plastered in white with some dots underneath her eyes, and she just basically smiles. She's like, "Oh, welcome. Are you hungry?"
Yes, and I am Gek.
Hi, Gek. I am Toothbrush.
Toothbrush?
Toothbrush. Well, it does sound like toothbrush, doesn't it? It's one of the names that they gave me. It's not
Tooth.
my. Yeah, you can call me Tooth.
Oh, I don't know why that tickled me so much. Whew. Sorry. Right out of character. Raina has had a little too much to drink tonight.
Oh.
That's one way to ward off getting called in. I see what you did there.
I'm sorry,
So-
boss. I'm legally unable to drive right now.
So Tooth is basically like smiling at you, and she's like, and presses her elbow on the table and looking at you. It's like, what are you interested in? I have pastries. I have actually lunch meals. I have a little bit of turkey ham and a leg, and I have a little bit of. Well, there's these things called burgers, and then there's like different cases. What you in for?
I'll take a leg.
What kind of leg? Turkey, ham, turkey. And she basically, she pushes the turkey leg in front of you.
Gek takes it.
Okay.
Brandy is gonna wave over at Tooth and say, just use my lunch punch for this one.
Does Gek hear that?
Lunch is not hiding it.
Gek wants 2 turkey legs.
Greedy little bastard. Bill wilts a little bit into customer service. Oh no.
You heal 10 points of HP.
Ooh.
Man, turkey legs
yeah.
stronger than healing potions.
I would also like to purchase this food upon hearing that.
I too would
Brandy
like
did say.
She did.
Brandy did say the food is magical.
No, she did.
Hey guys, food's on Bandy.
Oh, Lord.
Wait,
Yes.
what? Hold on.
Oh, you're
Uh,
so generous, Brandywine.
Thank
Thank you so much. Oh, radiant one.
Thank you, friendly lady.
Thank you, Wind of Brandy.
I'll have what he's having.
A turkey leg?
Oh.
Sure. Do you want 1 or 2?
why don't you try the burgers? There's a slab of meat in between two
Yes,
pieces
I'll
of
take 1
bread.
burger, 1 turkey leg. Great suggestion, Brandy.
Oh no.
I love how Brandy is explaining how burgers work.
Did you say burger?
Orger?
Borgor? Yes, you have to report your order to the Borger, though.
Unfortunately, Tomaros, you get 2 health points back.
Wow.
And as for the other one, 1 moment, please.
You say 2 from the burger?
2 from not from the burger, the turkey leg.
Ah.
An 11.
And 11 from the burger.
Nope, not from that does not increase your HP.
Oh.
I have to roll another die.
Oh no.
All right. As you bite into the burger, you immediately shrink.
Wait, who just shrank?
Tomaros. You shrank to
Oh,
the
what is
size.
this sensation? I don't know.
You
Quite the food you have here.
your whole armor and yourself kind of shrink to almost to the size of the woman. She's like,
You've gotten quite
she's-
large.
she's 5, just 5 feet tall. I don't know how
Alright,
tall.
everybody seems to be growing.
The food is magical.
You had to suggest the
yeah.
food.
Well, it only seemed polite.
Don't worry, dear. The effects only last for 10 minutes. It's all whimsical and fun.
What effects?
And what are you having there, strong man?
A burger.
A
Looks like a red
burger?
one.
Sure.
How much
And
does a
then,
burger cost?
well, it's on Brandywine. And she smirks at that. So, 1
Carrying
second.
daggers.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Do I
no.
heal 68 hit points?
No,
It was at least worth asking.
it was worth asking, but nope.
Yanara just takes a couple steps back, just in case.
Can you do that as a stealth roll, please?
I can.
Oh,
Yeah, it.
You
Please.
bite into this delicious, savory burger. Immediately, your eyes start a little buzz. It buzzes a little, and then,
Fuck
unbeknownst
this
to
shit,
you,
I'm out.
your eyes turn into gemstones, but you can still see out of them.
Oh, neat.
Oh. Can I
So-
have a burger?
But yeah, of course you can have a burger. And then she gives you a burger
Oh
too.
Lord, Jesus Christ, man!
I cast 2 turkey legs in one hand, and burger in the other.
Oh no!
Do I heal for the burger, or do I just get magical fun?
You just basically fun.
Oh.
Oh,
You
he
basically
doesn't
have
heal?
gemstones for eye.
Can I also have a turkey leg, please?
Yes, you can have a turkey leg too.
What?
You heal 4 for your turkey leg. As for the 88 for Gek for having a burger. You believe there is a crow on your shoulder. And it's talking to you like, that looks delicious.
I know. It's great.
What
You
kind of
want
food is it?
It's a turkey leg.
No
Gek?
way!
Gek? Who
So,
are you
babe,
talking to?
when you
crow?
actually select someone as GM
Mhm.
and when you're
Yeah.
doing chat, that actually
Yeah.
lets you talk as that person. I think you're selecting sorcerer right now.
I don't have sources. Well, he's not selected, so
I
I
just
don't
assumed that
know.
Dred typed that.
I didn't type anything.
Oh well, then never
That's
mind.
it's me, but for some reason I'm known as the sorcerer apparently.
Probably because it's the last thing that
Even
you
the
selected.
GM was taking the sorcerer's name.
I'm sorry, but I don't know how to
I
fix
wonder if
that
that's
because
just
I'm
yeah. I wonder if that's somehow if you right click your game master name, you can see if it's got you assigned as a player.
Your config.
not really. No.
User config down in the bottom left.
I'll see you. Okay, hold on. Hi. Nope.
Now you're Gek.
I'm Gek. I'm clicking user configuration. I don't know if it's because I don't have a player avatar.
It should be posting in chat whatever what token you've got selected, not targeted,
Hit
selected.
escape.
Well,
But it's not a problem.
I'll do it again. Hi. There you go.
There you go.
Hey.
All right. Anyways.
Brandy's gonna dejectedly head down, thinking she's only gonna pay for Gek's meal. Fee,
Anyone else want anything?
PB, you want any sort of food? Do you eat food?
Query, what is this organic meat you are shoving into your holes?
That's an interesting turn of phrase.
Here, love, I
Query,
have something
why?
straight for you. And she basically gives you a concealed can with a straw out of it.
He takes it and just kind of eyes it curiously.
Well, don't you drink anything? Maybe oil? Grease?
Commentary, I drink only of the peace.
Oh my God.
Well, it's peace grease. There you go.
Well, if you don't want it,
No.
these spots,
Oh
I
no.
can hold on to it for you. I
He
can.
stares at it and his eyes just grow bright and he just dunks it on himself.
Oh, well,
Bathe in the peace.
that's a way to use it. Sure.
Does that count? Please tell me it counts.
It counts.
Okay, how do I secret roll?
Secret roll. You
Mhm.
just set it in the bottom over the where you're rolling. You just set it to
Well,
blind
not a whisper. What was a W? There we go.
you should be able to do that through token the token bar. Or you can just do a whisper roll, yeah.
Yep, whisper roll. There you go. So you choose one or the other.
Do I get to choose which? Like,
Yeah, you could choose whatever one. It just goes to. It could either be the one or it could be the other.
no, but like,
Mhm.
what is the value of it? I guess.
So if you're doing the first one, it's like max, like if uh
Did I lose you there?
no, I'm writing it. 1 second.
Oh.
You should try it, burger. Gex has the fee.
I'm really not that hungry at the moment, but
Is that permanent or
It
is it
can't be
still on
true.
10-minute effect?
It's permanent.
I mean,
Permanent.
if you think I should, I suppose I can.
Um,
Well, do they have a vegetarian version?
when you say stat abilities, that like
I think.
So you're
the
like
core?
wisdom, con,
Yeah. Okay.
stuff like
okay.
that.
A toothbrush, because apparently that's a nice interpretation to your name right now, as Brandy says with customer service voice and smile. Do you happen to have the special for topping off one's magic right
Yeah, I'll
now?
take that one.
Know what it is today?
Ah, you're talking about the wrinkleberry.
Oh god, not that one.
What? You wanted to have your top off your spells.
I do need one. Does it at least have a different flavor with it this time around?
Well, we have it in black raspberry, we have it in cherry, and we have it in mango.
Well, I have.
The mango.
Hey, Brandy, grab one for me too, will you?
What flavor do you want?
Mango, please.
Oh, that was not a whisper. It's
Did somebody
okay.
say berries?
Is that like a smoothie or something?
Here, I'll show
No,
you what happens.
It's a tart.
Oh, well, I would certainly love a tart, especially if Miss Brandy is paying.
It's a wrinkleberry tart.
Wrinkleberry tart that comes in different flavors.
Yes, and she's taking the mango.
Yadar is taking a mango one as
black
well.
raspberry and cherry.
What is a mango?
It's a sweet fruit that's
Well,
Look what she says.
I suppose I can try it. If you two are having it, it can't be bad.
it's not the mango that's bad. It's well, it's okay. It's fine.
She basically goes to the counter, picks up a plate, and offers this kind of like it almost looks like a pretty much like a tart, but with the mango flavor. It's orange in the middle, like a filling per se. It's like it looks fresh. It smells great, and she offers the three to you. Brandywine and Yamara and lastly Fee.
Well, thank you.
You'll come over and sit down at the table.
Nom nom. Babies.
Roll me a quick con save for those.
Oh, good lord. What have you done?
A con save, you said?
All the things.
You're fine.
Oh.
So basically what it does, you guys, as you're eating it, you feel the delightful flavor, mango splash in your mouth, and the very creaminess of the tart, kind of like just washing your and buzzing your little taste buds. And you regain your spell slots.
Ooh! Hey,
All of them?
all of them?
them? Mhm.
Yeah! What would have happened if we had failed that? Just out of curiosity.
If you have failed that, your face kind of twists. Literally
We've
twists.
still gotten our spell slots back?
You'll get one spell slot back.
Okay,
You,
well,
If it failed.
a wrinkleberry is basically your face literally twist. Like if
Wrinkles.
someone
So
is twisting it.
you get the Thamor treatment, basically.
Yeah, pretty
yes.
much.
Okay,
I'll
don't
take
wear
that.
his helmet this entire time. No one will ever know.
No one will never know.
Right. Okay, that
Cheers,
actually wasn't
toothbrush.
all that bad.
Cheers.
Hey, Tomarose. Hey, Tomarose, do you need a little extra something for? I think that was magic that you were using out there, in the ring.
I could use a little pick me up, yes.
Sure.
Sure, love. What would you like? Would you like cherry, blackberry, or black? Excuse me, not blackberry, but black raspberry, or mango?
He just sort of like pops over the countertop like a child and just like he points at the one that looks tastiest.
Which one would that be, love? Do you want mango, cherry, or black raspberry?
Let's say mango because orange and sun.
Very well. She basically hands it to you, and it's with a smile, and then you roll me a con save as well.
Oh, please fail.
But nobody would know.
We would know. That's
The
all that
helmet
matters.
twist.
Oh, man.
Get your spell slots back.
I feel fantastic.
And as you're shoving it through your face mask kind of thing, as you're getting away, you feel this magical presence going on around you, and then all of a sudden you start to grow back in size.
Oh.
This is quite an interesting flavor of tart. Yes. The thing's contagious. Tossing back into me.
Tomados,
Good to know.
were you just a lot smaller? What?
Hey, you only got bigger.
Well, if you need anything else, I'll be right over here. Toodaloo! And then she goes back behind the counter.
Gek looks at its crow. How about you?
think
That tart looks very nice. I would like some. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake.
I think that
What happens if he feeds a tart to an imaginary crow?
it's not imaginary. This is a favorite home. Nothing's imaginary.
That's true.
She basically. Well, what flavor would you like, dear? There's mango. There's. Cherry sounds nice.
Do you have cherry?
I do have cherry. And she gives you. All right. She gives you the cherry tart.
Everyone hears Brandy bemoan. Oh gods, I think this is my lunch for the next 5 days.
You're the one that offered it.
That's besides the point.
Are you just holding it in your hand, thinking the crow
Leave
is
it there for it to get.
I'm holding
Don't worry, if nothing else, you'll have a potato for the next 5 days.
So you're holding it in your hand. You, in your eye, you just see this bird pecking at it, but compared to everyone else, nothing is happening. Tastes yummy.
Is it good?
Yeah, good. Very good. You want to try?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no!
His face is already plugged.
The imaginary crow just basically goes blah right into your mouth.
Oh God! Ew!
Remind memories of mother.
Delicious.
Nothing really happens because you haven't eaten it yet. So.
Jack, are you all right there?
Yes. Say hi to my crow.
Crow?
There's a crow.
Yes.
She looks
And
over
as you're
to
talking, Gek, you see feathers just growing from your beard, from your chin.
Oh, what?
Wait, Gek is growing feathers or?
Gek is growing feathers down his chin.
Oh Lord!
The little dragon is finally getting his wings.
No, it's a crow that has wings.
I have wings.
See, it has wings.
Flaps around your head.
There's nothing there. Have you? This must be one of the new ones.
I'm fine. He was fine.
We're fine.
Fee's gonna lower one of the lenses on her glasses. Can
Mm-hmm.
I make like an Arcana check to see if she can like see the whatever effect is happening on Gek?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool. Arcana. That's
Oh,
a
that was
classic roll
almost.
for me.
Well, that was almost good.
Well, let's see. So as you're kind of like you're looking over this and you're putting your goggles on and you're like looking as little tiny bird feathers are sprouting from his chin, like they're literally popping out of his reptile skin and then just slowly forming down and into like a very very flamboyant kind of like long beard, little by little. But you don't know exactly how this is occurring.
That's very strange.
Brandy is gonna extend a finger towards the feather.
It
Do you
feels like
mind if
feathers.
Do you mind if I touch the feather?
What?
You have feathers coming out of your chin.
You look so pretty.
Thank you, bird.
Do you mind?
Okay.
Pokes him in the eye. No, he strokes the feather. Is it a real feather?
It's a real feather.
Lightly tugs.
You're pulling and yeah, you it hurts, Gek, as you see a little tiny blood droplet as you pull out the feather.
Oh God! No! I'm sorry.
Randy,
I'm sorry.
Stop it! Stop it!
I didn't pull that hard. It's really.
One of Gek's eyeballs starts flying towards the counter.
Oh no!
Sometimes just slide over and look at it.
Which
Yeah.
counter?
Waiting.
I know it hurts. One of Gek's eyes looking over there. One of Gek's eyes looking at Brandywine.
So the crow, you basically see the crow just flying around you before it kind of like imaginary plops a poop stain onto Brandywine and it goes back to you.
Oh, that works.
That works.
Do I feel anything?
Nope.
Oh, the chipbot is dying for me.
It is a little bit.
It's working just fine on my end.
I heard
So-
it.
As the bird is like flying around, it eventually you see it kind of like fade away before it disappears.
No, bird friend.
Are you sure you're okay, Gek?
No, my bird's dead.
Bird?
He's dead.
Wait, did you have a burger
But
too?
you are the bird.
But it was on my shoulder.
I
Did
didn't.
you
Yanara
have-
casts minor illusion and just creates another little bird on Gek's shoulder.
But it doesn't talk, so you just watch as the bird comes back to life and just like looks like it's talking, but it's like silent.
Did something steal your voice?
Brandy is gonna step back, and then sort of gets the hint. Someone else is making the bird for Gek's.
Yanara
Gek's
just looks at
benefit.
Brandy and winks.
And she's gonna make the bird bright with dancing lights because you can make a silhouette. Something's silhouette.
Shiny.
And you just hear Bippy going chirp 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 chirp.
I love it. We're conspiring against the kobold to make his dream come true.
Yep, so this now you have a glowing bird and that's going chirp 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 around your head, but it's not talking like it normally was.
We'll find your voice. Don't worry.
And the
It's profound,
bird
man.
the bird lands on top of your head and just like ruffles its feathers and nestles on top of it.
No. Get absentmindedly bites the tart.
Oh,
All right. Roll me a con save, please.
Something happened somewhere. Oh,
We
oh!
finally.
Almost a nat one.
Nope, you recover your. You don't have any spells, but you recover your rage.
Source tart. Okay. This is all coming out of my hide one way or another.
Gex sits down on the bench, on one of the chairs, just sits there. He's now content. He's full.
All he needed was a snack.
A lot of snacks, apparently.
Well, we're two friends. We seem to have defeated the wrestling ring, and feasted on very
What?
strange treats. Where to?
Well, sorcerer, you want one of the tarts as well? It's a staff-only dessert, technically. Seems like everyone except for you has had one.
And Tomaros.
Fred is muted. Oh, Tomaros had one.
I did have one.
I did have one.
It cured
It's what
his.
drew me back to normal size. It cured
I
my
am-
dwarfism.
Yeah.
Yeah, cure your dwarfism, gained your spell slots.
Fred is AFK.
Oh no. We'll just secretly say yes.
Who's this jester guy over here?
Which one?
Over here.
There's-
Bottom right.
He is kind of like just standing there, aloof kind of thing, bored out of his mind.
Let's go make our coworkers' life hell. I mean, what?
That sounds like an awesome idea. Let's go. So, do we know who this is? I'm assuming
No,
we know who this
it's
is.
one of the newbies.
Oh, it's a newbie. Oh, we have to we have to initiate him, Brandy. Let's go.
Yep. Okay. Oh. Let's see here. How do we do? Brandy's gonna say to Jan, "Oh, I think that person over there is new. I'll go left. You go right."
Gotcha. Let's go.
Doink, 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 doink. Hey there.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Brandy has her Phoenix costume still on. So, what they have you doing today?
We're just basically attending to guest questions.
Oh. Just a
Oh,
glorified walker around?
I guess.
Is this a guy or a gal?
That's a guy.
How old does he look?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell since he's wearing a mask.
That's right. It's sandbagging hour. Has anyone asked you any hard questions that you haven't able to been answered?
There was, kids being lost, and when Pelisha we be performing.
What's wrong with you?
It's how I talk. I'm sorry.
It's
Who
odd that
actually-
they have you answering customer questions when you can barely get 2 words out.
put you on this job?
Ew. One of the sprites?
One of
Looks
the
like
sprites.
somebody beat us to this guy. This is actually kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't even think that we can have
It,
fun with this.
Hey, buddy,
it,
just you see over there, she points over at the food cart. Go over there and ask Thrush if you can, you know, help her out for a little bit. Mm,
uh, 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 sure. And the guy just moves, making his way towards Tooth, passing by all of you.
That was sad.
Very. You know, we should have gotten the sprite's name so we can beat the shit out of it later.
Yeah, we'll get it later. We'll hire anyone these days.
Hey, that would
And
be my line. I was trying to
unbeknownst
be
to
nice
you,
to the guy.
as beknownst to you both, he goes in there and he just looks over to Tooth and he's like, "Gosh, she's such a bitch." I know, right?
Wait, which one of us is that referring to? That's what I want to know.
Not that we actually heard, but
No, but I still want to know.
Mm.
You don't know.
I feel a disturbance in the force.
He pretty much was putting on an act the whole time, and he fooled both of you.
Well, apparently.
I see a whole bunch of conversations. What's going on here?
Just talking to myself over here. My bad.
Aw.
Jay.
One is the loneliest of-
And as you girls are like conversing with yourselves, Sven just like looks at you. He's like, Brandy, Yanara, Brandy,
It's a
Yanara.
loud
And
whisper.
What's going on, Sven?
Yeah?
come here. I have something to tell you.
Okay.
Chaos
What's going on?
wins.
What's going on, Sven?
I just been told by Mr. Light. There's some kids kind of running around. Not just like normal kids. Like no. They have wings, but they're lost.
They
Ah.
goblins or other?
Oh,
what kind of
no.
kids?
They're I believe he said something children size. Well, they're children, but I believe he said they're human.
Okay. Did he
Okay.
say where they were?
At the lost property.
Right. Well, I suppose we have to go after them then. Mr.
Alright.
Light's not someone I particularly want to get on the bad side of.
Yeah, even though I mainly hear from Mr. Witch.
Same,
Alright, well,
but
let's go deputize some people.
yeah, let's go. Thank you, Sven.
Thank you, Sven.
Bye.
Why are we on kid duty all of a sudden? Not that I'm
I
complaining
don't know.
that much, but hey, everyone, we got a job for you. Want to help
job?
us save some kids in distress?
Saving children?
Jen?
Where do I sign up?
This is a concerning.
Oh, Shred's back. Did you want a wrinkleberry tart? It restores career resource.
Yes. Because you're paying for it.
All right. Would you like mango, blackberry, raspberry, or cherry?
Ooh, let's go with the raspberry.
Ooh, it's a
All
different
right.
one.
Wait.
Roll me a con
A
save.
black raspberry, doesn't that make it a blackberry? Or they're actually red? Or
No, black raspberries are a thing.
Oh! Ah, come on!
Ooh,
Wow.
wow, diggity.
You recover all your rage and you feel very empowered, and all your health goes back to normal.
This is the best tart I've ever had.
Right. Oh,
And then Gek went off somewhere else over here.
yeah, we need
Well,
to
we
go
have
to Lost and Found.
we have some more kids to go after. Does anyone want to join us? Don't all speak up at once.
Oh, sorry. Um,
Sure.
I understand that we are. I would love to help, but one, I believe we should probably sign a contract if we're going to work for your employers. And two, it's very concerning that this is not the first, but the second time within what? How long have we been here? Maybe just a few hours. That you have had issues with lost children. What is
Look,
going
it's
on
a
with your
very large
security?
carnival, and there are lots of children here. Logic dictates that children will become lost from time to time.
Um. Okay, that seems very concerning. Where are their
Calculating. It
parents?
sounds like your peacekeeping efforts here are inadequate.
Well, maybe you can help with that then.
Certain, I have tried.
Well,
can
try
only-
more.
You've done a very good job so far, so we're asking again. As far as
Gentlemen,
contracts,
this unit is not under your employ.
and
Well-
as far as contracts,
That's not exactly under our purview, but maybe we can talk to Mr. Witch about that. I don't know. That's a conversation for later. But for now, Brandy and I have been given a task, and we are
and we
graciously
very much appreciate your help.
Well,
It's the least you could do for eating me out of house and home, potentially.
well, you were the one that offered.
I offered originally to just one person, but then I got committed after everyone started ordering as well. But it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong.
It sounds like you're
There's
making
nothing wrong with
excuses
any
for
of
a
it.
bad decision, but it's okay.
Certain, I was offered nothing. Or I took nothing was offered peace. This is not the food stuff you offered.
You had peace grease.
Well,
No, he didn't buy it. Give it to him.
No, he did not.
I
Jack
assume
is
that went on
looking
your
back
dad.
and
That is
forth.
so funny. Eventually, he's just going to self-destruct. He's just this little ball of energy.
So what's Gek doing?
He's just peeking in the store, see what's in here.
You see another girl that looks similar to the one that you saw in the other store. She raises her head up and she's like, "Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm Gek.
I'm Teef."
Toothbrush.
Good toothbrush over.
Toothbrush and teeth brush.
Oh, that's
Nope, just teeth, no brush.
What's on the counters?
So on the counter she has like just random trinkets with like little baubles, some cards, and she has like little vials, and a little like a painting set and stuff like that. Do you want to have your face painted? Do you want your reading to be read?
Fortunes.
It's something like that, or you can buy some stuff too. It's like little tiny stuff. I mean, I kind of made it. And she's putting her two fingers together. Stop writing! You keep turning my screen. I mean, it's up to you, of course, Gek.
Okay.
So what do you want? Do you want your do you want your fortune to be read? Do you want palm reading? You want to buy some stuff?
What's these cards?
Oh, that's tarot reading.
Oh no.
You want to do the tarot reading? Okay. Okay, all right, so there's a specific method. It's been a while since I've done this. 1 second. We can do a simple reading, your past, your present, your future, or, we'll just start off with that one, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. And, okay, so, wow, I don't even know how to do this myself. It's just one of the options. It was in the book, and the book doesn't say anything.
If you want, we do this later.
Just-
And we go with everyone else.
Just do a tarot reading right now. Right now.
Do it. The tower. Death. You will die.
Amazing! The Gek explodes.
I'm trying to how many. Okay, so we'll start off with your past, and she starts shuffling the cards. And okay, so go ahead and draw your first card, and just roll me a d20. Okay, so so what we have here is it's a man that has very powerful muscles. It represents your strength and your courage. And you look like you're very strong yourself. So this is your past. And let's draw another. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Who's Pumak?
Friend.
Oh, interesting. Okay, now we'll roll. We'll do your present right now. So go ahead and draw another card for me.
Another d20.
Yep. Okay.
Wow.
It looks like we have the same thing, but it's a little bit reversed. So what we have here, since your present state, you may look a little wimpy, but you're quite strong.
Whoops.
And now we'll do your last card, which is your future. All you gotta do is just roll another just draw another card.
It's actually what they're doing. They're just rolling a big tarot d20.
Oh my. So, and she places the devil card down for your future. This is kind of interesting. So this can elaborate to different little things. So it could be like you're very with how everything is. You might be making a deal with someone, or you might face some quite big danger, or you might just have an all in all fun time. You never know. Just don't get discouraged or anything. But as we're kind of collecting all this together, so you're very very strong. You're looking for this person. And with this devil card, maybe that you're making a very like trying to connect. Stop writing. Very. You're making a trouble connection to find this person. So yeah.
I have to warn the others. Bad deal. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
We gotta turn off
They
your
got the
feature
page.
that centers you on text key.
Huh?
We gotta turn off your feature for centering you on text.
Yeah, I was like, go back.
Nice.
What is it, Gek?
I just had a tarot card reading. It said bad deal in future.
A tarot cards reading.
Bad deal.
Yes.
So,
Bird.
by
I also said I'm
a-
very strong and very strong.
A contract is not technically a deal, so that has no bearing over the thing that we'd like some help with.
Also,
It
tarot
kinda
cards
came
aren't.
out.
Uh, uh, also, tarot cards aren't actually real. It's no, sort of a manipulation of emotions. But
So I'm not strong?
no, you are very strong. But she was
Oh no.
well, she was playing on your psychosis. She was watching your reactions to her cards, and it takes some practice. Of course, I've read about it. I'm not very. I'm not good at it at all. But take no mind of what she said. It's not a problem.
Okay.
But that's everything is true. You just hear from this very far behind you.
Oh, don't be such a sour sport, young gnome. Next thing you're gonna tell me that wrestling is all fake.
Well, no, I just watched you.
See?
Clarification. Wrestling is real, but an act.
Well, that is also true.
I don't know. Those teeth were kind of all over the floor there.
That wasn't really wrestling. That was just punching.
Yes, it was extreme violence.
I loved it.
Anyways, Gek, you are. We saw in the arena. You are strong.
Okay, not
This is the
wizard.
force reflexes.
Okay.
Ba, 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 ba.
Anyways, what's with. How come these children keep getting lost?
We didn't ask the why. We just know that this is what's happening. So
Well, the last children who were lost were pretty traumatized. So.
Well, that's because, dearie, this carnival has its own very mysterious ways. Comes a voice from behind all of you.
Who said
oh,
that?
hello, new person.
Someone with 4 health. Oh wait, no, there's 4 health
Mm-hmm.
bars. Scary! Bonk. Good. Anyways,
You just,
Scary
you just
words.
you basically see a halfling just strumming along on a lute, just like tuning it a little bit, and looks up at with all of you with a smile. Well, like you said, why all these children are mysteriously disappearing, you never know. But at the same time, this carnival has very, very intriguing mishaps happening lately.
who is this person, and do we recognize him, or does
Nope.
one of us?
Wow,
You
you're
do
small
not-
for an elf.
I'm a halfling, dear.
A what?
A halfling.
Like
Half
Fee
elf?
over here. Wait, no.
I am a gnome. Halflings are similar.
Yes, no, you're not a halfling, but I can't remember what you are.
I just said that I am a gnome.
She
Yes, you
has
said
the
no,
fur.
you're not a halfling. I understand that, but what?
Oh dear.
He's pacing around.
No, gnome, not no gnome.
You know, gnome with a G.
It's okay. If you don't,
Nog?
if it
Oh
makes,
God.
No.
if it makes you feel better, you can call me a halfling. It's fine.
Like this, gnome.
Didn't...
It's
No! Yeah, I am
Yes.
sorry. I haven't slept in 3 days.
That's very unhealthy. Why have you? What?
Quite.
Anyway, well,
But I feel fantastic.
that's great. I don't remember ever seeing you before. Are you new?
Well, I am one of the benefactors of this carnival. And she is wearing wings herself.
Okay.
But you don't
You know,
know who she is.
You seem to know an awful lot about this place.
Oh, sorry.
Hey Sven, do you know who this is?
Query. Sign.
Oh no!
Oh, PB&J,
Oh,
don't do
gnome.
that to me. Ugh, we had history.
He glances down at the paper, glances back up. Clarification. Your name does not appear on my contract. Therefore, our history was null and void on a prior contract. This unit does not
Oh
recognize.
my. Your memory must be phased, my dear one.
This unit may need to report to maintenance, but no matter now.
Okay, one step at a time. Who are you?
Hmm? Oh, well, my name, you can call me Ellie.
Ellie.
Right, Ellie? You have
Ellie.
wings, and you've probably been here before, so. Do you know why there's been an influx of children recently?
I mean, darling, it is a carnival. Obviously, you're going to have children come and go.
That's what I was saying.
I'm not
Yeah.
5.
Well, obviously, you're not 5. But you've been here before.
What?
Have you not?
No?
Hmm, interesting.
Ellie, you seem to.
Hmm?
What is the I guess what information do you have about these missing children? Our companions here had offered us to help, but obviously we'd like to know more about this.
Well, from what I have known, since I've been here several times here and there, well, I have noticed that some children have been picked off by very unlikely creatures, which I assumed that you've all met. One of them, anyways.
There was a strange, very
Like in the mine?
unnatural and gangly green creature in the mines. She seemed very intent on taking the goblin children that we rescued.
That is quite fearsome.
So you've been to the mines then? Or seen what's happened?
No, I haven't been to the mines, but I have seen
Insight
that
check.
Sure, right. Roll me an insight check.
Oh, that was almost bad.
I forgot how to do certain things, so 1 second.
Whispers?
Nope. It's a private. She appears to be quite honest and very thorough. She's actually like looking at each and every one of you with a smile, but you keep cutting her off. So,
She's getting annoyed. Got it.
well, no, I haven't per se visited this mine of yours, but I have seen the little servants around taking children. But as for the children that you probably are most likely being heard of, it's just children who lost their families and friends, that's all.
Oh, that's all.
You're very flippant about that.
Well, what I mean is those with the wings are quite protected. Those without need to be, well, looked out for.
How is it that so many children are able to enter this carnival without wings? I thought that there were procedures in place to prevent that kind of thing.
There is other magic here that is playing. As to what, I cannot say.
Oh. That's disconcerting.
It is a little disconcerting, isn't it? But I can
Well,
tell you those 3 servants that you need to be looking out for. One is one you've probably seen, a very ugly, gangly creature with big, bulgy eyes and balding like hair. Then
oh
there is
yes, we're well aware.
there is 2 more. A girl with a pig-like mask, and I believe one of them is quite newly recruited. I've seen her come and go time and time again, but she looks like, well, she has like a moon-like mask. I don't know the name of it, but I've seen her time and time again. Just pay close attention to the darkness of the shadows.
And you're saying
You-
these are all in league with the other magics that are going on here? Well, I guess intent on
Yes.
capturing children?
Mm-hmm.
Do
And
you
she,
know why?
As to why, I don't know, but I just know that, well, some evil works are at play, and it pretty much involves the whole prison mirror.
The what? The
Prison
Prison?
mirror. Prison mirror.
what is this prismere?
Roll me a history check.
I would love to.
Do we get advantage for being carnies?
Nope.
Can
Oh,
we all
good.
roll history or just
Yeah, you can all roll history.
Would this be
Intelligence
like?
is.
Is this a magic
Hey.
or technological device?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank goodness I took proficiency in history.
Wait, why do you have a -1? Is
I have a
intelligence
-1.
your-
Intelligence is my dump stat, but I have jack of all trades, so. But I still rolled a nat 20.
Okay. So I would say Brandywine and Ptomeros, you've heard the term maybe once or twice, but you don't know exactly what it is, but you just know it's something to do with a whole spectrum of the Fey realm. As for the sorcerer and Yanara, the most, I would say with the sorcerer, you again in your passings being as a wrestler and an entertainer, you've heard of Prismir and how it's separated and sanctions and how it's ruled by different races. But it's kind of ruled by one ruler, but the name is not getting to the tip of your it's on your tip of your tongue, but you don't remember what it was exactly. As for Yunara, that name actually does come to you. And the one who's actually in control of Prismir is a not very friendly queen. I'm trying to get the name. 1 second. It's very complicated to say.
Oh, good. I'll remember it for sure.
Getting there. 1 second. It is by the name of Siblina.
Sablina.
Siblina.
Zabelina?
Siblina.
This is the ruler of the Prismere?
She is the ruler of the Prismere.
Okay.
And she's technically the queen of all the sanctions, and she's not very much of a friendly well, not a very friendly being. I don't know what the self-roll is.
Sorry, I didn't know you could see that. Sorry.
Nope. I actually couldn't. I just had question marks.
Gotcha. We're just testing something. Apologies.
No, you're good. No worries. You just know she rules over this realm, and she has 3 others underneath her, and the sanctions that you actually remember are of the prison year is broken down by 3 technically, and each of those realms is ruled by something much more foul. And from what you can vaguely remember, sorry, 1 second, getting lost in my own notes here. It's broken down by hither, thither, and yon.
Hither, thither, and yon.
Hither, thither, and yon. And they're ruled by 3 other people, but you don't know who they are.
So it's not these 3 underlings that she was talking about. It's 3 other people.
No, the 3 underlings are serving those 3 people.
Gotcha.
But anyways, Prismere is technically the whole, you would say the whole realm, but it is broken up by several sanctions, you would say. Um, and she brings up there is hither, thither, and yon. But as to why the children are disappearing, I don't know what purpose is, but all I
It
do
can't be
know,
anything good.
it is not good, unfortunately. And to be honest, they are very much disturbing the balance. For those who represent the Fae.
Well,
And
this is... Go ahead, sorry.
And the carnival is kind of like is being used in a way. Have you not noticed that let's just say your employers are much more wary of why the children are disappearing?
Are you saying that Mr. Light, and Mr. Witch know about this?
I'm sure they do, but they're always hush hush about it.
And what brings
This is troubling.
you to tell us then? Are you not employed by your employers?
Oh no, I'm actually the ones who bought your tickets.
Oh,
Why?
yes. What?
Because all of you are affected by these 3. You may not remember, but you need to fix it before it's too late. I know how cryptic it sounds, but all of you are part of something much bigger, and the Fey realm is quite in a very big need of your assistance. And in that assistance, it will help you find the things that you have lost.
Just so we're on the same page here. There are children being kidnapped, correct?
Yes.
All right, you have not my sword, you have my mace.
All right, well, glad to hear it.
Yes, I will certainly help as well, but you said things lost?
Of course. I mean, she looks at you kind of sadly. You were such a poor little thing. It must have hurt greatly, people not believing what happened to you. And she reaches over and touches your artificial arm.
You see Fee's eyes kind of narrow a little bit, like confused, and then her eyes kind of go wide.
What? How do you know about that?
Because you've been here before.
I have?
All of you have.
We have?
All of you have. Mm-hmm.
I've always been here.
Have you?
Well, we weren't always here.
Well,
We
I don't
came from
remember
somewhere.
leaving. Yeah, but
Speaking, I don't actually recall coming to this place. I
This
was here
just missed-
before.
Like I said, all your memories have been touched in a way. And it's intersected with the fate of Prismere.
see Fee like kind of looking down, almost vacant-eyed, hugging her metal arm, like kind of against her chest. And not saying anything, just.
I know it's quite a shock and everything. Quite confusing as well, but to be honest, I have been waiting a long time for you guys to return, and well, you've grown so much and everything, but I can tell that you've all have changed in some ways. And she looks back over, like behind her shoulder to see Gek, and ah, yes, and you like to travel a lot more than usual. You've lost your friends. Have you not? I'm guessing Noko is gone.
Noko is muted.
Sorry. Sorry, I was playing Baja. What?
What? She's basically turns to you saying you have lost your friends and you have been traveling a lot.
Yeah. I
And
miss my
for-
friends.
And they miss you.
Aw.
As to get how to get back, though, is the problem because now you've wandered here and now you're all stuck here until, well, it's been resolved.
That's how we get back.
Wait.
Hmm.
So you're telling me this place messed with our memories, messed with who we were, and we're expected to help this place?
Not the carnival itself, though. The carnival, like I said, is being used because the carnival itself has always been transported between planes. And unfortunately, the current residence of this plane is the Fey realm.
A planar gateway, then.
In a way, and there's another gateway here hiding.
To
I
where?
can sense it, but I don't know. I am sure the owners of this place know where it's at. I would probably say if you see those three that I mentioned before, the little pig-faced girl with the mask, the moon mask lady, and the, well, undisturbing ugly creature, watch where they go, and then you might know.
Ugly, the pig, and the moon.
Keep your eyes on the shadows.
Right. And how can we contact you should we have any information or questions?
Brandy's
Well-
gonna cast message to her and say, "Will this always reach you?"
Not always, and she replies back in your head.
Well,
But
alright.
I may have something that might be able to help. And she kind of like digs into her robes, and then she pulls out this little purple frog and hands it over. This is kind of like how would one say it? Kind of like a sending stone in a way. Anywhere you are, you just whisper my name, and I'll whisper right back.
Is she offering it to someone in particular or to?
She's just holding it in her lap. Whoever wants to take it.
Fee will kind of reach forward and
Well, I suppose that would be helpful.
kind of like takes it in two hands. How big is this purple frog stone?
Um, it's kind of like it's a wooden little statue, that's colored and coated, but you do see the eyes kind of shift, almost like it's blinking at you in a way as you pick it up. But it's kind of like it's the size of like a soccer ball.
Oh, this thing's big.
So this is like two hands for Fee, and she's like,
Oh, well. Miss Phoenix Lady, you have a backpack, right?
Yeah.
Here,
and hands it up to her.
mine's full of all my medical supplies. I don't think I can fit it.
Sure, I guess. Call this the purple frog, I guess, for
Purple frog, purple frog, purple sending stone.
That's a big ass frog.
Or AKA the ribbit.
the ribbit of replying.
The ribbit cell phone.
Flying ribbit. I don't know. It was...
The rib fly or
Yeah, I think
That's horrible.
we've reached the end of that
pleasure.
one.
we've
Um,
reached the natural conclusion of all this.
Except
the
I miss
riveting
Salties.
replier.
Oh God.
The riveting replier. There we go. Right, well, thank you for the heads up, I suppose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm also almost forgot. I can't believe I'm so scatterbrained sometimes. Maybe my blood sugar is low, but anyways. But those three that I've mentioned, they work under the Hourglass Coven. Those are the three that are sanctioned in hither, thither, and yon. Like I mentioned, coven. Hourglass Coven.
Doesn't sound good.
No, it's not, dearie. And to be frank, I'm not very happy with them either. Just whenever you do cross their paths, stay clear away from them.
Right. Well, we'll do what we can, Ellie. Yes, yes, we'll do what we can.
If there are innocents at stake, will that stop until the perpetrators are dead?
Possibly, but like I said, I don't know what their intentions are with the children. But just keep an eye on the shadows. And she looks over to you, PB&J. A very firm eye.
Query. Is this a new directive?
It is.
Unknown why accepting. Status updated. Unit may need maintenance.
She basically gets up and out of her seat and basically walks over to you and she's like, maintenance, you say? Well, get down here and I'll help.
Fee is watching intently of what is about to happen.
PB&J just goes over and then kind of just kneels.
Brandy is looking into the eyes of the frog.
PB has no idea why he's doing this, but something's telling me he should.
All right. And then she basically looks over into your ear and kind of like pulls your helmet piece off and takes a hold of one of your gears and starts twerking it a little bit. And you feel some magical essence going through your gears and fluctuating all throughout the rest of you. But some images start to flash within your mind, or what is made of a mind. And as she closes the gap, and you recall seeing her a few times, and you've been here, and you recognize the place a little bit more as you've used to be, well, made here.
Unit repairs incomplete. Database updating. Status registered. New directive accepted.
I guess it's not all that. Something else must be in the way. Oh, not good. Must be that stupid thing that's blocking everything. Again, you're all...
Oh, what,
Go ahead.
what did you do? Is it something that I could learn to do it if I can help him?
It's difficult to say, really. I mean, since there's some magic working with him, something's blocking his full memory. It's troubling, but
This
at
unit
least
has
some of
been
it.
tampered with. This unit will
Well,
find the perpetrators and bring them to peace.
yes, well,
Tampering with and or disabling this unit is a carnival crime.
Did you almost say federal offense?
Boy, the Kappa's gonna get you, boy.
now, Peavy, you need to calm down. Nothing's going to harm you.
You wouldn't download a peace bot.
Print it, would you?
No, but something like I said, the prisoner is being affected at all of you, and your fates are tied with it. So, unfortunately, I can't really fully activate his, well, full potential, but it's the least I can do to recover something.
Well, if you ever have some time, I would love to learn what you did. Perhaps then I can help him if you are not around.
If there's time. But we'll probably most likely meet again.
I'm almost tempted to roll an insight on something, but I can't word it.
Do you want to?
Well, the thing is, I kind of want to roll it on Fee and her motives on wanting to know.
Go for it.
I always forget what the opposed would be. We had this discussion before. I think last Friday.
Just
yeah.
Just roll an insight check, and I can play off that. As much as you can tell, there is a genuine sincerity to how she's speaking. There doesn't seem to be the best way you can understand it is a hesitant altruism. She's trying. She wants to help Peacebot, and she's just heard that his memory's been tampered with. She wants to see if she can help.
Okay. So it's a actual.
There's definitely a sincerity to the words she's saying. There's.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Oh, and one more thing. You little gag, I need to see that paper that you have there. Is Noko gone again?
No, I see his mouse moving.
Baha. Baha ate him.
Baja basically is.
Hobby Gek, who would win?
What?
Neither,
You
it'd just be a
hand
snuggle
her.
puddle.
She basically
Oh,
turns
that piece
back
of
to
paper?
you,
Yeah.
Gag. Yes. Okay. She basically just looks at it and she's like, "Ah, this will give you a little bit more instructions of what I meant." She basically goes, "Our three, you must be aware, they are quite dangerous but can't compare. They rule the sanctions of this realm, but they are not the ones who are at the helm. Beware of the one who spins the tale. She wears her tragedy as her veil. The others are not too extreme, but have a similar theme. They peer into your past, present, and future." And then she basically hands it back to you.
Thank
There's
you.
someone that just looked in the past, present, and future. Let's go whack the tarot reader. Kidding, of course. Kidding.
A very good find and a very miscalculous mishap on their part, but it's a warning.
What? Why would this be? You found that down in the mines, right, Kick?
Yeah. In the tent. I got stabbed in.
Why would something like this be down there? Would it be a warning? Is this someone working for you, Ellie, that maybe was captured? Or are they just writing notes to themselves? Is this somebody who would be working for the, you said, Hourglass Coven?
No, this used to be a poor, unfortunate soul who was studying the Fey realm. You may know of her, Gek.
Do I?
You have. You must have visited her once or twice in the time. Do you remember a little elven girl named Estelle?
Maybe. Maybe?
She smiles a little bit. She's like, "Well, if you don't remember who she is," and she just snaps her fingers and once she basically turns into her face just basically turns into a very pale, Snow White pale elf with very long white hair and striking blue eyes. Um, I am trying to pull up just a random, well, the stinking token over. 1 second.
You shouldn't even need to bring the token. You should be able to right-click the actor and show artwork, and then at the top of that, you'll have show to players.
Oh, gotcha. 1 second. It's for some reason it lost the picture. Ugh. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's see if it'll work this time. That is basically what you should see.
Oh, that.
Oh, that? You don't remember her?
Get goes cross-eyed for a bit. Yes?
Well, you were always forgetful. But anyways, she is no longer of this world. In general, I mean.
Oh God, she's dead.
Yes, she is dead. You are very right, Gek.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But anyways, I hope that some of the news I have given you has enlightened you a little bit, and hopefully you get a hold of the owners before the whole extravaganza goes down tonight. But at the same time, keep a lookout. We don't need any more children to disappear.
Well, you've answered some questions and raised some new ones.
Yeah, that I have.
So I'm lost. Who do
You
we
are.
smash?
That can be taken in very many terms, little Tomoros.
Little?
Of course. And she
You're
just
gonna have to
smiles.
elaborate on that one.
She just smiles.
In any case, to right this wrong, whom must we vanquish?
I think it's a little bit of a mystery. We have to find out for ourselves. And also, well, you have a bit of an inroad to talking to the owners of the carnival if we, well, manage to find the time to catch their attention.
I think it's well past time that we had a chat with Mr. Witch.
And Mr. Light.
Well, I'd rather deal with Mr. Switch, honestly.
As you're talking about that, Ellie just basically taps the side of her nose, and then all of a sudden she disappears in purple mist.
Well, that was sufficiently disturbing.
I'm still confused. Why did she call me little?
That's the only question you have right now?
Silence.
Sometimes people just have a way of speaking to others, and it's maybe not logical, but who knows? Maybe she is even older than I am, and for that you seem little because, well, maybe you're much younger than she is.
So what you're saying is she is a MILF?
Oh, for God's sake.
And scene.
I don't think I want to know what that is.
I just know it was set in context to a maternal figure.
Oh my God.
I'm not actually sure what it entails.
No.
He messed up that roll.
No.
Omeros, may I advise you what my mentor told me a long time ago? Quit while you're ahead.
What am I ahead of? I'm confused.
You're basically, as you're talking, your helmet just starts turning pink.
Is it supposed to do that?
Do what?
Your helmet is
Turn pink.
changing colors?
Query. Perhaps that acronym was a spell component. It is unknown in my database what this stands for.
Curious. Out of character, Key, is this part of my curse?
Nope. I will say, no, it's basically a very lasting effect on what you just referred to, Ellie.
Doesn't improve
Your
with the
helmet,
MILF status.
it does not improve on the MILF status. No, but your helmet is pink, and then it just starts to bleed throughout the rest of you.
Oh.
Bleed?
Like it's
The color.
bleeding pink. Like your color is bleeding pink. Your armor's turning
So
pink.
you
It's
got a
spreading.
Team Fortress 2 hat with a special effect.
You got splatooned.
Pretty much.
Can I?
Mhm.
Can I send a message to Mr. Witch?
Sure.
We just had a very interesting encounter. I know we have these lost children to deal with, but we need to talk soon.
What counter do you mean?
It's a cantrip. I'll cast it again. We just met someone named Ellie who came forward with some very interesting information about why we're here. I assume you know about this.
There is a very long pause. And then you almost feel his heavy sigh next to you. But it's not in your head, but you can almost feel the reaction, feeling how close you are with Mr. Witch. And I suppose we do need to talk. Ignore the request that Savan brought to you. Come to the staffing area. To my tent personally.
And Yunara will just turn to the group. Mr. Witch has requested to see me. I would prefer that you all come with me. You're all involved with this as much as I am.
Is he one of the ones stealing the children?
Oh God, Nox.
Goodness, no. He's my
Oh
boss.
wait,
If
you
he-
said something. I thought I'm
Stealing the children.
I
Yes.
heard it too,
Ah,
Zerg.
Zerg.
What'd you think
I'm
he said?
so
Peeling
sorry.
him like an onion?
Her armor turns pink now too.
That is a charitable tread. That is a charitable interpretation of what I thought I heard.
Yeah.
I am actually curious. I don't know what the what the implication would be.
You said stealing, right?
Stealing, yes.
I heard something that started with a D
I heard it too.
Dealing?
and sounds a lot like riddling.
Nope, not Nox at Nox.
Ah, diddling. Okay, I see. No, I said stealing. I did say diddling in a different context, but not here.
Stealing the children.
Stealing
Yes.
the children.
Anyway,
Alright, well,
so-
we have to go.
And you get pink armor, and you get.
And you turned red, and you turned red.
Mr. Witch is advised that we momentarily forget about these children over in the Lost and Found area, or at least me. But I would feel better if you all would accompany me. I think that since we're all involved, that maybe we should all have a chat with him.
And if we're going to be working with him, it's always wise to strike up a contract. That's at least what my mother always told me.
Onwards, then.
All right.
see.
Well, with that, we'll end the tonight's session. Thank you for being so patient with me in the controls and staying up to see what we have gotten into. This is where I was hoping we could stop. So
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to get that out before we quit. So,
but I hope you guys all